Crash.
Here we go. And we're alive.
We're going? We're going good? Alright, it didn't crash. Well, hey everybody, we're still here. No stream crash. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Gonna answer a question that's not on screen now just because it caught my eye when I happened to look down. Do you commission people to do art that you use on your blog or channel? I would, but all the ones I've had have been from people who, like, were really wanting to make me art. I usually try to choose artists who have already drawn me a bunch of stuff because I know that they're into my content and that they want to draw stuff for me. With the exception, like, the only one who wasn't like that was the girl who drew Digi Brony. The original avatar was Mizuki Takishima, which is, like, the only thing she drew for, like, 2 years. She was not a very prolific artist, but she had been reading my blog ever since I was, ever since I started blogging as Digi Brony. So I thought it was cool to have her, who was like the first follower of Digi Brony as a character, to make the avatar, and it was really good. And then, like, when I did the Drunk Digi, or the Smoker one, rather, it was an artist who had drawn me a bunch of fan art already. Munchie, who drew my avatar, had drawn me a bunch of fan art, and so I got him to do it, and he's also friends with me. Dear Cotton Candy, who did the header art for my YouTube and Twitter, she'd drawn a bunch of fan art for me that I was already, like, she had drawn fan art of me with, like, me as, like, a Moe character, which is I made it the avatar for Digidoes Anime, and she had drawn this picture of, Shiro from No Game No Life, holding a little Digipony, and it said, like, 7 out of 10 in a speech bubble, and I had made that my header for a long time, and then I was like, do you want to just draw me a full-on header, because I had this idea for an image for it. So she was like, yes, sure. I even offered to pay her, and she refused money because she wanted to draw it so badly. So yeah, I've never really had to commission an artist because it's always people who, like, are fans of mine. I guess that answers the question. I don't know why I thought there was more to that. Have you heard of or seen Achikochi? I've heard of it, I have not seen it.
Why haven't you seen it?
The main character's design pissed me off when I first saw it. She has, like, the weirdest hair I've ever seen on a character.
How weird are we talking?
Really weird. Let me show you.
My reason.
Like this.
Oh, that girl.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Really
That's
weird.
not...
I mean, this picture's really cute, but, like, we look at it in the show.
Oh.
It's kind of like, ugh.
That almost covers that guy's face.
Yeah, it's just...
Anyway. Did you say it's off? What are your thoughts on open source software, and would you switch to GNU/Linux if it had good video editing software? No, because it sounds complicated. I'm like borderline illiterate when it comes to, like, computer hardware and software. Like, unless, like, except for, like, using software I know how to do, but, like, when it comes to managing it, I don't know shit. I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to computers. I have a computer guy who helps me with everything. My friend Donson.
Oh yeah, he is the computer guy.
Yes.
That's what we call him behind his back.
And in front of his face.
Computer
Hey, computer guy!
Cyborg man.
Alright. Yo man, I'm literally just downloading this game. Any tips for a beginner and easy characters I should try first?
Ryu or Cody, depending on what type of playstyle that you want. Most people recommend Ryu.
Ryu and Ken are both, like, really easy.
Yeah, you, like, when you start off, you want to get a feel for how to play the game. Like, you want to figure out how to play footsies and, like, outranging your other characters and punishing, and
right.
You get the basics through Ryu, because other characters just don't have those tools.
I'd say, if you don't even know, like, fighting games very well, like, Ryu has all of the combos that are, like,
logical and,
like,
just,
really,
they make sense.
Yeah, really ingrained into, like, fighting game culture and history. Like, lots of fighting games copy the Ryu combos, where if you go down semicircle back, you do a spinning kick forward. If you do down semicircle forward, you shoot a Hadouken. if you do this weird fucking thing, you do a shoryuken where you uppercut, and it's like each one has like a very logical purpose. Like I need to close a gap, I do a spinning kick. I need to shoot somebody from afar, I do a Hadouken. I need to, if someone's getting close to me, I uppercut them. And like when you learn those 3 mechanics, you'll really figure out how spacing works.
If you play on Steam, I can start an endless room, and you can friend me, and I'll.
Oh yeah,
give you tips.
everybody. You want me to just give out your Steam name?
Yeah, you can do
really. It's GALOIS 138.
317.
317. Never mind.
You can like type it out. Or
Galloway 317. I will type it in. Trevor, type it into the chat. You can do that.
Trevor, type it.
Well, I looked down and I immediately saw Trevor's name, and I was like, oh, he can do that. I'm sure he knows how to spell it.
I don't use Shoryuken.
You don't use Shoryuken? You got an anti-air.
Yeah, I know.
If you ever see me jump in the air and I'm like right in front of you and you're still in control, you gotta Shoryuken.
Are you into any podcasts? Have you heard the podcast Sayer? It's got amazing atmosphere. I have not heard that podcast. The only podcast I follow regularly is The Biggest Problem in the Universe, which I'm a big fan of. I listened to a bunch of Hello Internet, and that was pretty good. But I never continued it after the first season. But yeah, Biggest Problem in the Universe is the only podcast I really listen to. Do you and the rest of the Horseshoe Crew plan to attend BronyCon 2016? I don't want to go. Jesse said he'll keep going to BronyCon forever. I don't know how serious he is about that, but knowing him, he's probably serious about that. But I don't want to go back to fucking BronyCon. I'd rather meet with those guys somewhere else. Like, it's cool and all meeting with people and like and being there, but like there was, for instance, this year there was like nowhere to sit. Like there was nowhere to just hang out. I didn't want to go to any of the panels, so we spent a long time just like wandering around looking for places to sit. And you know, I mostly went there to hang out with those 6 guys, and I knew that if we went, we would end up having like a whole posse, and that we'd have to stop all the time and sign autographs and stuff. And I'm like, that's all fun and good, but I just want to hang out with those 6 guys. So I told them, let's just go to the fucking mountains next year, and they seemed like they might be up for that, but I don't know. If they want to go to Otakon, that would be much preferred, because I actually like Otakon, like as a convention. Not just a meeting place.
That was super good.
And the main attraction of going to BronyCon is simply the fact that we were all able to get in free because we ran a panel and did emceeing. So like if we couldn't get in free again, that would definitely bar us from entry. But we probably can forever because we're known. If you had to partner up with someone to do an anime debate, who would your partner be? Who would be your opponent? Someone who can be on par with you in your anime knowledge.
Oh, God.
Depends on what we're debating. Because, like, intellectually, I've debated with Ghost Lightning before, my friend, but he really only watches, like, mecha shows and stuff like that. It's hard, like, there's not a lot of people that I know that are, like, exactly on the same level of, like, knowledge about anime as me. Because, like, I know a lot, and there's people who know more than me, but their knowledge tends to be a lot more specific. Like, some of those people I mentioned that I follow on Twitter, like, really know shit about animation and, like, how it's made and how it works and stuff. Victor's back!
And he came right as my win streak ended.
Oh, shit.
I had 22 wins.
Look who lost.
Oh, is Victor gonna have to play
I don't
you
play
now?
Deadly. I don't know. He's not into Street Fighter.
It's true.
He's very against Street Fighter.
Victor's gotten very sick of Street Fighter.
Which is funny because everyone else has gotten really into Street Fighter.
Okay, I'm like trying to orient where Shade
Yeah.
went because like it's fucking with my head.
I can move this way.
I'm worried about us getting too many people in here and it getting too chaotic.
Yeah.
Someone says they did karaoke with Jimmy and got some video. Do I want to see? Not really, but it sounds hilarious. Who is your OTP? Any pairing? You'd have to specify a show. Digibros Live, yo, sorry if this has been answered, but where's Victor? He's my husbando. He's in the bathroom right now. I'm sure that question was asked like an hour ago before he got back. How much could you pay someone to reveal that thing you're afraid of? It's not really a like money thing. I just
You
don't
can pay
wanna
me
talk about
and I'll reveal it.
Just don't do it publicly.
$500.
It's not that big a deal. I just think I think it's a dumb idea to put the things you're afraid of on the internet.
It's real stupid. Oh yeah, I can be seen.
Yeah, you're live.
There I am.
You're blocking shade.
It's fine, right? It's good. I got thrown off guard. I started
Really
doing
want to get back
circle motions.
I was thinking of my approach to Demon Souls on the drive home.
What if you just showed up at the YouTube corporate offices with a boombox? Would they appreciate the gesture? Would they just give you a copyright strike on the music you're playing? Of course they'd give you a copyright strike. Fucking assholes.
Right there.
Let's see. What do you say to insecure closet otakus? Are try really hard to hide their otakuness in public? Should they open up more? Personally, I can't understand the mindset of trying to hide what you're into. Like, be who you are, buddy. Like, who cares what other people think? Jesus. I hear yelling downstairs. That sounded like someone's getting killed on TV and my mom's reacting to it.
You're watching Ninja Warrior.
Oh, well then it's someone perilously hanging from something and falling. Can we send you anime and games to play? Yes, you can. My Steam name, I think, is just Digibro. Some people have sent me games before. I don't promise I'll play them because I very rarely have the time to play video games. Of the ones that I was sent before, Akiba Strip, I've watched someone play for an hour. Titan Souls, me and Shade tried to do a Let's Play of it, and we got like 40 minutes in and then realized that it wasn't recording right and had to throw it away. It was not a good Let's Play because neither one of us could really talk and play at the same time. We were like switching off between deaths. And, but I haven't gotten the chance to play more of it. So maybe don't send me any games until I finish the ones I have. Same reason I don't buy games. Have you ever went back to watch some of your earliest videos and ever cringed at your beginnings? Or do you look back at it as a growing experience? Both. I cringe super hard at all the really early Pony videos because they're so badly edited and just unstructured, and like the ones where I had like when I first started having content ID problems, because like a lot of the first few videos I made aren't up anymore because they had full screen footage and they all got fucking copyright detected. So the only way to watch those is if you're a patron and you get into the $3 tier where I've got all the taken down videos up.
What?
But don't talk over me, fool. But like those first few videos where I had content ID problems and I was like on camera talking about episodes, those are fucking awful.
Oh my god. The controller's like hot from his hands, covered in like finger sweat.
My hand like hurts.
Good lord. It's like it's got a new glossy finish to it.
That controller's old,
Do you
man.
leak oil?
No.
Or is this your controller? Okay.
No,
I was like, this doesn't feel like the
no.
same
Can I
controller.
continue? Can I continue? The reason I leave all my old videos up is so that people can go and like myself and other people can go back and look at my history and like see how bad I used to be and then see how far I've come. And I think that's really inspiring. At least for me, when I see other artists, like that always inspires me. I always bring this up, but there's a pony artist called Sharpie Boss who, if you go back through his DeviantArt, he only started drawing like 3 years ago, and his early shit is so basic and awful, and now he's like amazing. And if you go through like and just look at his progression, you'll see like his entire learning process in art, and it's really interesting. Thoughts on Childish Gambino? Not into his music. Donald Glover is a pretty funny comedian and a pretty good actor, but I don't like his music at all. Should we steal everything, watch pirated anime, rape corporate cunts, and most importantly support Jesse Wood on Patreon? Absolutely to all of the above. But only support Jesse Wood if you're already supporting me. You need to make some sort of place for archiving. The Horseshoe Crew fan art, like a DeviantArt group or something. There was something like that at some point. I just can't keep track of shit. It's too much trouble. Okay. What is Very Clean from? That is from
Very
Eric,
clean.
the Eric Andre show. What's your favorite hentai genre? Good ones, well animated or good art. That's my favorite genre. What are your thoughts on Monkey D. Luffy's role as an anti-hero? I don't think he's an anti-hero. I'm not sure what you mean. He's just a hero. Maybe I'd understand this question better if I was caught up on One Piece, which I am not even slightly. I've read 160 chapters of One Piece, by the way, if anybody was gonna ask that. I was in the Alabasta arc when I stopped reading.
Yeah, the black eye and the black low.
Look at this constant lower text.
Yeah, that can be pretty rough.
People are just having conversations in the chat. Why is Horo Musco one of your top anime shows? Because it's really good. It has great characters, and it's very well written, and it has a very interesting tone. And the concept of like transgender characters has always fascinated me. So that's why. Is there any place to submit fan arts of you? Do you still go by your Digibro pony? If you tag me on DeviantArt, every once in a blue moon, I check my DeviantArt and I see all the stuff I'm tagged in. So, yeah. A lot of this is stuff I already answered, so I'm going to scroll a little farther. Yes, Karekano is very good. You should definitely watch it. If you were stuck on an island, which 3 to 5 anime characters would you take with you? I guess I'd just take all my waifus. I mean, if we're going to be there a while, there's plenty of time for me to try to hook up with them and have the ultimate waifu harem. If you were a crystal gem, what would be your gem? I can't remember what gem I had chosen for when I had made like the gem Sona for the gems cast that we did. But I don't know. I don't know shit about gems. And I feel like whenever people make gems, like when I saw that people make gem Sonas in general, like I looked into like gems and there's not a lot of them in total. There's only like 50 gems, and like they're probably like the show is probably going to use most of them by the time it's done. And even like, you know, like fans are probably just using the same ones over and over again. So it's not something you can have a terribly original gem with unless you know, make up your own gem. Since Bomberman is in your Digibros banner, will you guys actually play one of the games? I wanted to from the beginning. I wanted Bomberman 64 to be one of the games we played on the show, but Victor didn't seem to be up to it.
It's hard.
It's
mind-numbing.
Victor thinks the Bomberman games are too hard to play and talk at the same time.
Let's take turns. We will play.
I think, yeah, if Brandon played with us, we could definitely do it.
Well, maybe that'll
I've watched
happen.
Brandon play a lot of the
But that is why it's in the banner. It was all everything in the banner was games that those were all the games I knew we were gonna play from the
We
start.
took turns with Bomberman Heroes.
Yeah,
We'll play
we
it
did.
for sure.
It was like Pokemon Snap, Kirby, Bomberman, and a Chow from Sonic, and those were the games I knew we were gonna play at the start.
Are you gonna put a Bio Freaks mutant in your banner? It's just right there next to the Bomberman.
Would you call your erect dick a solid snake?
Mine's a liquid snake.
What is Digi eating? I've been eating this stroganoff.
Stroganoff.
It's a beef stroganoff that
You're
I've been
both
eating.
downstairs.
That's a nice way to say hamburger helper.
It is a stroganoff.
Versus stroganoff.
Yeah, but it's not stroganoff. It's hamburger helper stroganoff.
I think you can tell by looking at it that it's not a real like a fucking chef made it. And also, which I just finished, and also this Hawaiian roll, which is starting to get crusty.
Ugh.
Okay.
Fireball. Fireball.
Are you too late to watch a show? I just finished marathoning Michiko and Hachin. I have no one to talk about it. Funny you say that. Michiko and Hachin has been getting talked about because it's airing on Toonami right now.
What?
And so it actually has been getting more popular than it's ever been before. Go find a forum to join or something, and you'll find people talking about it. Maybe our anime or something like that.
If he glows yellow like that, panic. Freak out.
So where did the name Digibro come from? Are you a Digimon fan or something? I knew this was gonna come up because it comes up in every Q&A. But
Shit.
no, I'm not a Digimon fan. Not that I have anything against Digimon. I liked it for a brief period as a child, but your controller's so loud. It's driving me like move a little over. Just move over a little. It's like right in my ears.
I'm mashing it.
My name, not that far. Now you're not in the camera anymore.
I was trying to get our shades right.
Hold on, let me check the. Yeah, Brandon's completely out of the camera.
It's okay.
Actually, I can probably move it a little bit. It'll be
I
fine.
want to play Demon's
There we go. Well, as soon as you tell these guys to fuck off, then you can play
I'm
Demon's
playing
Souls.
the game anyway.
Why are you playing? Just play Demon's Souls.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it'd be fun for everyone.
It
I don't
was.
know what the stream was.
It's a lot more conducive to me talking because there's a lot less giggling
Yeah.
and a lot less people fucking mashing on controllers and shit. So you should definitely play Demon's Souls right now.
Alright, hold on,
You should hold down that center button and get it going.
There's no chip down that at all.
Anyway, alright, I was explaining where my name came from. So, there's a song by Bad Religion called 21st Century Digital Boy, and I was really into it in late 2006, so I named myself that. And then, because it was too long to fit in most name fields on websites, I would use the current year Digital Boy, so I was 2006 Digital Boy, and then I'd update it every year. And then, at some point I had decided that being a boy when I'm an adult would be weird. So at some point I was going to change it once I was an adult. Originally I was going to change it to 21st Century Schizoid Man because that's the song that inspired 21st Century Digital Boy, and it's also kick-ass. But it's also a pretty common name. And some people had called me stuff like Digibro in the past before, like as like a joke, like on my name being Digi. So I thought, well, I don't really feel like I want to consider myself a man, because that's got like its own weird connotation to it. So I was like, more of a bro. So I'll be Digibro. And so I changed my name to Digibro, and it just so happened that it was not taken pretty much anywhere. So yeah.
We should trade off between Dark Souls and Street Fighter
That's
every 2 hours.
Oh god.
Oh, we lost Shade. That's probably for the best, because
I didn't think about trading off different games as we go, and then going back to Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
It's like every so often.
and yeah, Demon Souls.
Those points where
Demon
I
Souls
get too
also works a
frustrated.
lot better with the way that I've organized the video, which is that the chat. Oh, I didn't realize that the video had grown somehow. The game video had grown somehow, but like, there we go. That's better.
Grown somehow.
Sorry about that. I think that happened
Need to go get
because
a
of
tank
when
top.
I
It's getting hot
reset
in
the
It
recording.
was not hot in here when I left.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the chat was blocking a lot of the screen, so I don't think watching the fighting games is very exciting for people.
Oh man.
Are they interacting with what's going on game-wise, or
Yeah.
do they
Not
really
really.
not care?
There's not been a lot of comments about the games. Oh, we gotta switch the
I'm second player.
game back
Yeah.
to Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
I just turned off the camera. Shit. Okay.
All right, no more talking to Brandon. Don't forget what we're doing here.
It's hard. I'm used to Digibros. It's not the same.
Okay, where am I?
Those fucking shoes, man.
They're
They're so red. Why the red laces?
I already answered about live action TV shows. I don't really watch any of them. Do you think people think too highly of innovation? Not really. I mean, innovation's important. I think it's worth celebrating, but I do think that I guess I'd say it's more like I think people think too little of stuff that's not necessarily innovative. I think lots of stuff innovates in small ways, and everything's inherently different from everything else. People don't give enough credit to that. What are some of your least favorite anime cliches? EX, accidental... I said shut up, both of you! Are you just laughing at stream cunt? Is that it? God. Fucking Jesus. I guess there's a Digibro. This really is a Digibros episode now. Now that you've laughed at your name again. Anyway, least favorite anime cliche. Accidental boob grab is definitely the #1 that bothers me the most. As well as accidental faceplant into panties. Just anything that like comes up time and again and I don't get why. Like, what does the accidental boob grab do for anybody? Like, it's not really like sexually exciting to witness. It's like, oh, some other guy grabbed some girl's boobs. Like, it's not like it's usually like really sexual. It's just kind of like, oh, whoops, I tripped. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but every Japanese 15-year-old is wishing he could trip and grab a boob.
But
That's, you know,
does it do anything for you to see it
wish
happen?
fulfillment. It's like empowerment fantasies.
Wish fulfillment.
I think every single one after the one from Evangelion has been a waste of time. Eva deconstructed it, and it'll never be doable again, despite the fact that everyone does it. How do you feel about shows that try to purposely deconstruct a genre? Is that necessary? I don't think a lot of shows do. I think people overestimate, like, how much... Like, because people call everything a fucking deconstruction. I don't think most things are. I think Utena is a real deconstruction. And Eva could be considered to have elements of that, but I think it's more just its own thing. Like, Utena is the only anime I can think of that's like really going out of its way to like comment on and subvert tropes specific to its genre, like deliberately. There might be like a harem show that does that too. There's some stuff that has like deconstructive elements, but I don't think a lot of stuff can be really considered a true deconstruction, unless it's like the Watchmen tier. Okay. Brandon and Shay do use controllers for fight games. We don't have any fight sticks in this house. Brandon has one at home, but he prefers the controller.
We don't have fight sticks in this house.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't have those.
Yeah, I can play on a fight stick. I think that just growing up, I got more comfortable using pad though. And I'm too lazy to like really focus on fight stick.
Your opinion of that guy with the glasses anime reviewers, past and present. I don't like anyone who writes for that guy with the glasses. I'm not a fan of the entire style. I think it's very ego-driven, by which I don't mean like that they're egotistical. I mean that like the point of their videos is to say like, how do I put it? Like, they'll look at an anime series or whatever they're commenting on and be like, look how dumb this is. And like the idea is that like, I have good taste, therefore if I don't like this thing, it must be shit. Or like, if I like this thing, you know it's cool and stuff like that. That's how the impression I've always gotten from like that style of review, is that it's very like assumptive, like saying that like everyone's gonna feel the way you do, or that your idea of it is the correct one, like assuming that from the beginning, and just kind of pointing at something and going, look how clearly off this is, without analyzing why it's off or explaining why it's off. And that kind of stuff bothers me. And just generally, I don't think it's funny. I don't think that guy with the glasses is funny at all. Never liked his videos. I've seen a couple videos by like Sage and Yesu Otaku, and I don't like the format of those videos either. It takes them like 9 years to get to the point. I hate all the skits. I hate all the like, oh, I'm in this video too. Oh, we're doing a collab, and oh, how did you get here, guy? Oh, I came through the time portal, and like, I hate that. It's just fucking make your point and let's get it over with. That's why all my videos just start and they just stop, because I don't want to like waste time with all that extra shit.
Oh god.
Okay. What would your top 5 favorite quotes be from any anime? That's a few too many quotes. I don't really know a lot of like great quotes from anime so much as good scenes.
Gurren Lagann quotes.
I mean, all the Gurren Lagann quotes are like really, of course, memorable. I guess because it's all like it all goes through translation, you know. So like,
True.
it's rare to think of it as like a great line unless I know the Japanese line, you know. And then I feel like there's something that I did love in Japanese, but I don't know. That's a difficult question, and I wouldn't say I have a collection of favorite anime quotes. What would I like to see in Season 3 of Psycho Pass if there was one? I would definitely like to see them open up the world more, explain the shit that we saw in the movie, like, try to get to the heart of, like, what is really going on in the rest of the world. I don't believe that it's just all fucking civil war all the time. Yeah, I think the best... And to explore more stuff about the city and how it works. I think Season 1... The most lacking element is that we didn't get to see enough of like what's good about the civil system. Because when I get into arguments about it with people, like the number one thing people don't seem to understand is that the reason that they use the civil system is because it's mostly a happy society. People are mostly okay with it because it mostly gives them, like, on average, a higher standard of living. So, like, we need to present more of why people are happy with the civil system instead of only seeing people who have fallen through the cracks and are criminals, you know? Because I don't think the show sells why people like living in that society enough. So I'd like to see more of that and more of the rest. Again, the Expelled from School story was in a Earthbound episode. And I wasn't expelled, but...
It's like a scavenger hunt.
Who are the characters in your header? Oh my god! Someone finally asked, and they got it. They said, all I recognize is you, Madoka, and Applejack. There is no Madoka in my header, but I've been wondering if anybody was going to ask this ever since I first got the header, and like no one's ever asked. So from left to right, the one who's covered up by my face is Sakata Gintoki from Gintama. The girl who his arm is over is Ramelia Scarlet from Toho. Then there's Applejack. Then there's Tsunemori Akane from Psycho Pass. I know it's kind of hard to tell because she's leaning back and you can't really tell her hairstyle, but it's Akane. And then there's Tsukuyomi Komoe from Toaru Majutsu no Index, who is Komoe Sensei, not Madoka. Then there's me. And then there's Nobuo Ito from Ichigo Marshmallow. And then over on the right, there's Furude Rika from Higurashi, and lastly, Nozomu Itoshiki from Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. Those are the characters. So, I hope you all opened up my YouTube page to look at it when I went through that. How does one troll? Just fuck with people. Say things you don't mean that you know will make people mad.
Like, I love you.
Someone said, why is Don-san your very best friend? And Trevor said, Don is everyone's best friend.
He is
That's a good answer.
the Earth's best friend.
Computers.
Because computers.
Don-san is just an extremely reliable person who is generally, like, the voice of reason.
And he's very sympathetic of people.
Yeah,
he gives a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To an extent.
What is the coolest name of an anime character you've heard? Probably Grimjow Jaggerjack from Bleach. Grimjow Jaggerjack.
Grimjow Jaggerjack.
It's the fact that it came to mind immediately is how I know it must be true. Tomino's got some great names. Google, like, Gundam names, and you'll find, like a blog with just a list of Gundam names, and they're fucking incredible.
I was watching Unicorn Gundam last night, and it had a Full Frontal.
Yeah, Full Frontal.
Full Frontal.
Oh my god. That guy who was asking for Street Fighter tips says, I main Marth in Melee. Who's a good character to use in Street Fighter based on that?
Who's really good at poking from long range? Fei Long. Fei Long is a really good poker. He's like the The poster child for Pokemon.
Oh, Boyd Martis. Apparently, his messages have
Trying to
been
get
deleted. Oh, Trevor.
What?
Trevor deleted
What?
them and said, "Don't make me ban your ass."
Is everyone in the stream right now?
Apparently so.
They're all at Boyd's house watching the stream on his computer. Oh man.
That would be great.
Yay, I unlocked the shortcut in this level. I made progress in this game.
Guy who keeps asking if I've seen and like Katakano, I mentioned earlier, but yes, I do like it a lot. It's very good.
Very good. Clean.
I'm seeing some questions I answered before again, so we're gonna skip through a little. Why did Trevor delete all of Boyd's messages? What were they arguing about? I feel like all of his questions was like, Trevor, you're a bitch. Shut up, bitch. Like, that had to be it.
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm just now at the part where Victor came back in the chat.
Jesus Christ.
Because Trevor yelled,
See, we don't-
Victorino!
We don't know if anyone's talking about anything relevant because it's too far behind.
What do you think has to happen so that anime gets mainstream to an extent? I think it's going to happen naturally as our generation grows up, because most people my age are reticent to anime. Like, most people are capable of enjoying it. I mean, there were people I knew when I worked at Target, like, some of the people my age were watching stuff like Legend of Korra and Naruto and stuff like that. I think our generation is going to just generally be more interested in it. And as time goes on and our generation gets older and the next generation comes up and they like anime too, that's going to be more of what people want on TV. And so more of it's going to start being played, maybe get onto more channels. And then they need to make dubbing better, because I think a lot of people have a hard time getting into anime because it's fucking corny. Like, that's why my mom can't sit through anime, because the acting is so fucking corny that she can't stand it. So we need acting that's less corny. We need, like, bring over some mainstream shows. This dude, Wild Arms Hero, used to always say, like, anime will become big when they dub Honey and Clover with, like, a proper dub and put it on, like a channel aimed at women or something, and, like have an actual, like, mainstream acceptable show, come out here. So yeah, I think that would work. Are you into visual novels? Unfortunately, no, because they're too fucking long and boring, and I just can't deal. The only visual novel I've ever played all the way through is Saya no Uta. I played like half of Wanko to Kuraso, which I enjoyed, and the first of those Yuri games with the long titles that I can't remember ever, but I read like most of that. I think those are all the ones I played like a significant amount of. Thoughts on Haganai? I didn't make it through the first season. I thought it was okay. I wish the animation was as good as the character designs. My brother Shade really likes that show. Sena is his #1 waifu. So, yeah. What system are you guys playing Street Fighter 4 on? If you're on PS3, I'd like to get a few rounds in with you guys. Well, we already stopped playing.
Now.
But we were on PS3. But we also gave out Brandon's Steam name if you have it on Steam. Do you want to give out like your PS3 gamer tag too? Do you still play on PS3? Is that a thing?
I don't
Can people
play
do that?
on PS3 as much.
I see. Hanekawa or Senjogahara? Hanekawa? Senjogahara reminds me too much of my ex-girlfriend in ways that I don't want. Senjogahara's like got a hard personality to deal with. Hanekawa's more my speed. What is your opinion of Connor Oberst? I've never really gotten into his stuff before. The only song I ever really got into by him was Four Winds, Way the Fuck Back. I don't even know if that was a solo. What was Four Winds by? Was that just Connor Oberst on his own? Do you remember, Brandon?
No, I don't remember.
Well,
whenever I think of Connor Oberst, I just see Trevor in my brain.
Oh, is he a big Connor Oberst
No,
fan?
he just looks like Connor Oberst.
Oh. I was gonna say, I'm surprised that never came up if he likes those. Will you ever do a Draw My Life? I was gonna get, like, early like early into meeting Give and Take, I asked him if he would do one for me, and he had agreed to it. But there's no way he'd do it now because he doesn't have time. I never did one because I couldn't figure out how much detail I wanted to go into. Because I could easily talk about my life for fucking hours. And if I tried to sum it into 15 minutes, I don't know what details are the more interesting ones to keep. So I tried to write one like 4 times, and it just never came together. Oh, Trevor was when I asked Trevor to type your Steam name into the chat, someone said, "Hey, person playing let me read the whole thing."
Okay.
It said, "The person playing Street Fighter, Digi told you to type it in the chat so people could add him." And he said, "Whoops, my Steam? And whose Steam? TMR base." And he said, and the person said, "Galileo?" And he said, "Oh, Gallo 317.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. If you could an MMO class in real life, which would you want to be? Probably like a rogue.
A ranger from PSO.
Someone who...
That'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
I'd be some kind of tank. Someone with a big sword, really. I don't know if I'd be
I
a
just wanna
Battlefield
sneak
IRL.
Sneak around and backstab
I
people.
want to have a big sword.
What's your blood type? I don't know. I wish I knew. I think it might
I should
be
know
O.
with all the fucking blood tests I've had.
Question for Victor. What can we expect for the next Yield Kitten's Paw?
It's gonna be trippier.
A possibility of its existence.
The ideas I've had are very achronological and trippy
I see.
and stylish. So if it happens again, it'll be the style kicked up to 11.
Would you say SAO is wasted potential or just plain trash from the beginning? I think it's a lot of wasted potential. I think if you look at my SAO rewrite, it's like the basis of it is basically taking what I find to be the interesting parts of it and trying to make something better out of that. Because I kind of like the idea that the point of the story is that Kirito wants to live in a virtual world, and that like he wants to create like a virtual world in the future that will be closer to reality because of what he's experienced in SAO. So my version of the story really focuses on the idea that Kirito was like a guy who was dissatisfied with reality and wanted to escape into virtual games, and that's why he gets into SAO. And that's what he sees in the guy who made the game. He sees him as someone who wants to create a world that people can live in. And so when everyone gets sent into the game and, like, you know, he adapts to life there, and then he teaches Asuna how to adapt to life there, and then, like, the focus of the series once they got out of the game would be on how they're coping with not being in that world anymore, and how they're, like, trying to deal with the post-traumatic stress disorder of that world, which is what leads us into Gun Gale Online and the whole PTSD subplot. So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that could be done in there, which is why I'm writing my own version of the story. Oh my god. I literally just read the sentence from Boyd Martis, "I'm coming for you, Tolentino," and then I heard like a door opening.
Oh god.
And I was like, what are the odds that this message was sent just long ago that Boyd's here now?
That'd be amazing. I know that he wants to fight me in Street Fighter, and I want to like fight him too.
Well, he mentioned having work tomorrow, so I don't know if he's coming, but
maybe tomorrow.
do you guys want a gallon of PCP?
Yes.
Does it come in a gallon? I didn't know it came in liquid form. Look that reference up if you don't get it. Best set of tits you've seen in anime.
These ones right here.
For a long time I said Haruhi had the best tits in anime. I don't know if I still feel that way. Cece from Code Geass has pretty fantastic tits. Everyone in To Love Ru, because that guy can just draw tits amazingly well. Looking at my anime collection, trying to come up with answers. Ooh. Kind of feel like Haruhi might still have like one of the best racks in anime.
Would you say that spheres are your favorite shape?
Spears?
Spheres.
Spheres? No. Not really.
Can I add a question to the Q&A? What's your favorite shape?
What Victor, who do you think?
I like a
Who do you think has the best rack in anime?
I've grown a special fondness for Yoko over time.
Yoko's are too big for me.
No, not young Yoko. Old Yoko.
Old
Still
Yokos
a lot
are
of control.
way too
Yeah.
big.
Young Yoko's fine.
Young Yoko's too much
In other
for me.
words,
They're both too much for
nothing
me.
comes to mind too fast.
I'm trying to look at all my posters and like try to decide who I think has the best tits in anime.
What about Kayla
I feel like the best tits must be on my wall
Yoko
somewhere.
has the most obvious.
Like if they are the best tits, surely they've earned a place among my walls. Yeah, I guess what I said. I guess I haven't put enough thought into it past 2009. When I decided that Haruhi had the best rack. So yeah. Where was I? Okay, best tits. What's more hardcore than Genocyber? I don't know, I haven't seen Genocyber. What do you think of the big three and their influence? I think all of them started off really good, and One Piece is still really good. I think Naruto and Bleach ran for too long, and I think it's sort of indicative of just something that was going on in Shonen Jump at the time, because like Shonen Jump had never really had that many long series running at once. Like, obviously, what's it called? The really big one that's been running forever, like, has always been around. But like, even Dragon Ball only ran for something like 50-ish volumes, if that, and like all of the big three ran forever. They ran like way over that. One Piece is like 80 volumes or something like that. And I think they just kind of got forced to go on too long. I'm pretty sure Masashi Kishimoto was pretty open that he didn't want to keep doing Naruto, and it was making too much money and they wouldn't let him cancel it, and he didn't have another plan, so he just kept doing it. Now that it's over, he has said that he wants to do a sci-fi manga next. But Bleach, I had to catch up on it to like really say for sure, because for years people had been saying that Bleach starts off really good and then turns to shit. And I read it all in 2009, and up to that point, I thought it was all great. It's clearly something that's meant to be read all at once. It's kind of like Homestuck in that regard. Like, if you read it week by week, it gets frustrating because it feels like nothing's happening. But if you read it all at once, it's paced like a movie. It's paced like you're supposed to see it in one giant sum. So, like, I'd have to catch up on Bleach to say for sure how I feel about where it's gone. But I know a lot of people are pissed off with it all over again. I think One Piece has stayed good, and I think One Piece is good because it was planned out from the beginning, because all of it is, like, exactly what was supposed to happen. Like, it's been way more fleshed out and expanded, but, like, the ending and, like, the general story beats have always been there. It's just, like, changing the way that it goes about getting there as over time. So, I think they all had pretty good influences. I think they might have inspired a few things to run for too long, and it seems like Shonen Jump's cooling off with that shit, because lately their stuff has been not running forever or getting canceled a lot. Like, from what I've gathered from like Shonen Jump threads on 4chan, it seems like they're not in the best like shape of the magazine right now. But Food Wars is going, and that's great.
Fuck yeah.
And Haikyuu. And whatever else. Your biking manga, I think, is in Shonen Jump.
Yeah, we pedal.
Yeah, we peta. I guess that answers that. What's your stance towards elitism? Quit it. Quit being an asshole.
Stop it.
Stop.
It now.
I like being an elitist, ironically, like making fun of Sword Art Online fans and stuff like that. But like, when I was younger, I really was an elitist. Like, I really looked down on, like, people who didn't know shit like I knew shit, and I think that's pretty fucking cringy, and I regret it. I gave 2 public apologies, maybe 3. I know I gave 2, both times when I had been shitting on something for years and then realized I liked it, because one was Higurashi, because I always saw it from a distance as, like, just some edgy, like, people just like it because it's violent and cute girls, and then I watched it and I really liked it, so I gave a public apology for hating on it. Bleach, I gave a public apology for, because I'd been talking about, Bleach and Naruto fans are just the most basic, and then I read Bleach and I was like, oh, this is really good, I like it. And the other one was Maximum the Hormone, because I'd always assumed that they were just some visual K band, and then I got really into them. So, yeah. Don't be an elitist. It comes back to bite you when you end up getting into shit that you thought was for plebs.
You thought it was fake and gay.
Fuck, Mary, kill, broken side corn, and dance, Gavin, dance. From Trevor.
Gross.
Like Derek dance.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck or marry any of those.
Uh.
Fucking broken side.
You like it.
I think broken side is a lot worse than corn or dance, Gavin, dance.
Corn.
I like corn.
Why isn't this fucking operating? Didn't I turn the thing? What did I turning the thing do?
With whom did you do the Lucky Star drinking game? That was me and Ghost Lightning and a blogger called Shance, also known as Rainbow Sphere, and I think maybe Schneider was there. Schneider Hime, or Schneiderheim on
It's like
Twitter.
A Jewish magical
He
girl.
runs, I think his blog's called
Shalom.
His Continuing World. I don't remember. It was in the Philippines. We were at Ghost Lightning's house and we were playing drinking game. In 2011. Someone just wrote Red Tube 8.
Okay.
Do you want Hibike Euphonium to get a second season, and do you think KyoAni will do it? I think it would be better if they made another season, because I thought it was really unresolved, and it didn't really have time to get interesting to me. Like, I liked Hibike Euphonium for like the characters and their interactions and everything, but I thought the story never really got the time to go anywhere interesting. So if it had a second season, that would be great. I don't know where it would go from there, but it would probably be better than watching that bitch cry about that other bitch for 3 episodes.
Oh no.
If you could instantly master any one hobby, what would it be?
Swag.
Drawing. I want to be able to draw manga. I think writing. I would love to be able to write fiction, but not as much as I'd like to be able to do visual art. But like most film stuff would be too complex for me to be interested in. Maybe animation. I'll say I'll just say drawing in general. If I could draw, I could do a lot more things. I have no patience to draw. You did a Steven Universe podcast. Where did you do that? I'm gonna assume someone's linked that, but if not, it's on Digi After Dark. Have you tried banana ketchup?
That sounds stupid. That's ignorant. Whoever posted that is probably a liar. I don't believe that exists.
What's your opinion on incest couples in anime? Hold on, I have to upload this image that I saved about the pros and cons of incest. It's fucking fantastic.
Good Lord.
Yes, I'm actually actively going to sit here and upload an image for you guys because I love it so much. If I have it saved, I hope I do. But it's like the cons are like, fuck, if I can find it, I'll just fucking read them off. 'Cause it's pretty funny. Oh, I don't think I have it. No! There's this image called The Pros and Cons of Incest, and it's like the characters from Bakemonogatari, and it's like the cons are like socially unacceptable, morally wrong, can't have children, and then the pros is like this incredibly long list of like all the reasons that like you know, like, oh, you have a strong bond since childhood, no one understands you better, like you can work through tough issues because you've been doing it your whole life, just like all these like pros that were like pretty legitimate, and I was like, this is fucking great. If you can find that image, I highly recommend it. Incest is wincest, as somebody said. Why do you look so wasted? Because
why do you look so
my fucking eyes are straining from staring at this monitor for the past 6 hours. I've literally got tears coming out of my eyes. Like, I've been wiping away tears for a while.
Stress.
Some people just, like, I'm eating Thai barbecue right now.
Oh my god.
Like, okay.
Nice.
You know what? Good for you.
I had Korean barbecue
I had pad thai today.
months ago.
Someone says, if there's someone who's never seen or heard of anime at all, how would you get him or her into it? First, I would describe what it is.
I wouldn't bother.
Then I'd describe why I care. And then I'd ask what they're into, and then I'd try to find them a recommendation based on that. If they're into like drama and like feelsy stuff, well, first of all, I'd say if someone's not interested in media, you're not gonna get them into anime.
I would say,
like,
do they want to be? Do
are
they
they,
want to
anime?
get into anime? Is the first
well,
important thing.
I think most. I mean,
or
you
do
have to.
you want them to get into anime?
They have to know what anime is to decide if they want to get into it or
Yeah.
not. I mean, they might show some. I mean, if they're like completely.
I mean,
like, yeah,
are
that
they, are
sounds
they
fucking
showing an
stupid,
interest,
then-
or are you giving them an interest?
I think if they say, "Oh, that sounds dumb," then don't bother.
Exactly.
But like if they're like, "Huh, that sounds interesting," like, but if they're not into like movies or TV or anything like that in general, or like comics or anything, it's gonna be really hard because that just means they don't really have any kind of acclimated taste to anything. But if they have a taste in another medium, then try to translate that into anime. If they're into like drama, get them into like Honey and Clover or Nana or something, like some kind of serious drama. If they're into like just cute shit, then just show them some cute shows, you know, like get them in with something that you think will be their type of thing, and then you just got to kind of watch in the wings and see how into it they get. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Are you a champion? I guess so.
I'd go with horror first. This usually translates easy.
If they're into horror,
yeah.
then yeah. I mean,
There's probably great
there's
horror
plenty
stuff
of
to
dumb anime
start people off with.
schlock that you can watch. Watch fucking Another or something and laugh at people dying, at children dying. How long until the cinemasochist crashes this party high on cocaine and rocking his balls off to some Shinobi 3 music and fucking Wasp? That's Jess, Endless Jess, is in the chat.
Oh, Lord.
Oh man, I'm sure he'll be here fucking soon. Rocking the Wasp. God left me unfinished! Oh man. Favorite Terra class, theirs is Ellen
we
Reaper.
fucking go,
Mine
right.
is Ellen
Fight.
Slayer.
Here comes the shit right here.
Which is the only one I've played at length. Play fucking Shinobi 3, you cunts, says Jesse. Too hard for me, bro. What did I think of Razafon? I thought it was cool and good. I haven't seen it in a really long time. I rewatched the first episode like a year ago and was surprised at how like not pretty it was. Like I guess the image of the show in my head was that it was like pretty nice looking, and I'm sure some parts of it are, but like man, it was not that well directed or like animated, which I mean it was like the first Bones show, so it's not too surprising, but I thought it was good. It's confusing at times and weird.
We should play Mario
But it's
Party on
interesting.
stream.
No.
Mario Party MMO.
Did we try that on Digi or on
Level up against-
GameCube chats and lose our fucking minds?
Yeah, there's a Brando too.
Oh, man.
Is
Old
there an
Spice.
anime you are ashamed of having been a fan of it? Having been a
Everything.
fan in the past? I don't feel a lot of shame in general.
You're a shameless fucking bastard.
Wasn't there? I think there is an answer to this. There is an answer that I was ashamed of myself later for like, how was I into that when I was younger? What would you? Are you ashamed of anything that
I'm
you
trying
were
to
into in
think.
the
I
past?
don't really think so.
I gotta pee. I'll go think about that. You hold the conversation. Hold the fort.
Holding the fort.
Uh,
Physically.
Me
mentally.
and Brandon, we're doing the thing.
Holding
I
the
look at the
fort.
stream and I'm adjusting my nuts, cause that's what I do when I
Yeah.
sit in the chair, because I'm wearing shorts.
And you
And
gotta stretch out.
I got balls.
Holding
Brandon's
the
here,
fort.
and we're holding the fort, and we're holding it up, and we're hoisting it high, and I'm very nervous about fighting a giant spider, so I'm gonna procrastinate. Let's read the chat.
And we'll put down the fort.
College isn't for him. It's Brown. Pretty good answer, Digi. Personally, I don't care what people are saying.
Is there gonna be a pee count for how many times he gets up and pees?
Let's fight the armored spider.
Oh god.
Oh my god, it's already in the fucking hellish.
Try your best.
You can give a hide back here, you can't hit me. Nope.
This is a bad idea.
Oh, I'm covered in webs. I thought there was a certain point where I could, like, hide. But it's not. It's not happening at all. No!
What makes this shame question hard is that
No.
I fucking sold most of my old manga and shit.
All the bad ones.
all the ones I'm like not into anymore.
Shit, dude.
I don't
This
think
thing
there's
is
anything I'd
fucking
be
me.
ashamed of. There's a lot of stuff that
No.
I look back on and I'm just kind of like, I get that I was into it because I was a kid, but there's no way I'd be into it now. But
Yeah.
like,
Someone thought I was Indian?
if I had been into Sword Art Online in the past, if it had come
Your
out
new name is Pakni.
back then, I'd be ashamed now.
Pakni. Gupta.
And Brandon Tolentino is French Filipino.
I am French and Filipino.
Like,
He's a frappuccino.
even split, right?
Yeah.
Just
No, it's like 75% Filipino, 25 French.
okay.
Split
Even
down
split.
that middle.
75, 25, right down the middle.
Okay.
7,500, 25,000. Oh, God, he's gonna do the fire thing. That's right, I have to run back from this one. No, he got me in the web! No! Oh, I didn't do too much damage.
Yeah, you're fine.
No, it's still doing
this
damage.
next question's a good
Oh,
follow-up
it's
to
doing
that
a lot
last
of
one.
damage.
You alright there, buddy?
Still going.
No, we're not fine.
We're not okay at all.
Since you
Not
say that
fine.
you would like SAO when you was 14, is there any other show or genre of anime general that you regret not getting into before?
Due to
I'm
time.
confused.
Like,
about
I
that
wish
question.
I were into it before, maybe.
I mean, I don't like.
I wish Hunter x Hunter were around when I was a fucking kid. Would have been
Well,
so into that.
Yeah, actually, that's
1999.
if that's what you mean. There are some shows that like I feel like
Oh my god.
like.
Like you wish you were into it sooner.
I mean,
think.
I'm into Hunter x Hunter now, so it's not that big a deal that
Yeah.
I wasn't before. But like, there's definitely shows that I wish were around when I was like 14.
Hauling ass, hauling oats.
I wish shows like
Or Steven Universe. were
yeah,
around,
Steven.
yeah.
I was gonna say
Good
Steven
cartoons,
Universe
you
would have been
know?
great when I was a kid. I probably would have been pretty into it. Although I don't know, it has a lot of girl characters, and I was totally like not
Yeah.
into girl characters as a kid. What's an anime recent? There's been a lot of stuff that like comes out, and I'm like, I really would have liked this when I was 14, but I just don't now.
Sword Art Online is the biggest one.
Yeah, but there's been other stuff.
Tiger and Bunny I would have loved growing up.
Yeah,
Even though I love it now. So.
I don't know. I don't feel like I regret not getting into stuff before if I can still get into it now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason it had to be back then. Someone said blame Love Hina for that cliche, but that was around long before Love Hina for the like falling on boobs one. Because Love Hina was post Ava, and Ava Ava deconstructed that shit in '95.
Yeah.
Um,
It was constructed and then Ava deconstructed
Would you
it.
consider your lifestyle akin to Travis touchdowns before the events of No More Heroes 1? No offense, Digi. What was he really
He was
doing?
just a useless otaku.
Like, was he doing anything besides
think he was
being
doing
an
anything.
otaku? I guess. I mean, all I do is fucking
God, I love this
blog
shield I
anime,
have now.
which is pretty much what I've been doing for like 10 years now.
Shit. This boss scares me.
Any anime you think is underrated? Oh man. Oh, where do I start? Revolutionary Girl Utena is weirdly underrated on like a lot of websites, like My Anime List and Anime News Network. And I think the reason
Ow,
is
what the
that
fuck? That didn't get me.
Utena was like dubbed on the Funimation network and shit, and the dub is fucking awful. And I think probably a lot of people saw Utena in like the late 90s or early 2000s who didn't understand it or didn't get that it was like what it was supposed to be.
Almost out of grass.
So I think it's been lower rated by history because of that. I would say K-on's underrated, but K-on has plenty of fan base. There's plenty of people who appreciate it as much as I do. I just think it's got too much of a hate-gasm against it. Not necessarily that it's underrated. It's a good example of something. Oh, let me go into my list of rated anime. Let's see here. Oh, Ponyo is super underrated. People always treat it like it's just the throwaway Ghibli film. Like, people love all the other Ghibli films like they're masterpieces, but Ponyo, people are just like, oh, it's just a kids movie, and I'm like, yeah, but it's like the best kids movie ever. Obviously Garzy's Wing. Super underrated.
Oh, man.
Baby Steps, not so much underrated as doesn't get a lot of attention, and it's really, really fucking good. I think it doesn't get as much attention as the other popular sports shows because it doesn't have a bunch of pretty boys, so it doesn't really attract the yaoi shippers.
Hajime no Ippo needs more fucking fans.
Hajime no Ippo is definitely in the
way more
West
fans.
underrated.
Yeah.
Or underappreciated. It's gotten bigger over the years, but yeah, it's still pretty underappreciated. And it's good for pretty much the same reasons as Baby Steps.
Yeah.
Both very good, like, journey through life of a sports
Just
person.
good
series.
shit.
Inari Kon Kon Koi Iroha was a 10-episode manga adaptation that should have got a second season because it was really fucking good, and it didn't seem like anybody watched it or talked about it, and I was like super into it, but it just kind of doesn't go anywhere because it only has 10 episodes and the manga was still going, and I was like, why didn't this get more? And Denki Guy is also pretty good. I don't know how that did. I don't really know how people see it. So I guess those will be my answers for now because I don't want to go on that question all day. But those are some of like my favorite shows that are not as well appreciated as I think they could be. Whoa, what happened? How did I lose so much chat? Okay, hold on. I'm getting close. I'm getting close. Someone's talking about unhooking a bra with a foot. I'm confused. What show did you used to love but now think sucks? Everything I liked when I was 12.
The Yamcha spin-off show.
I was really into the Rave Master manga as a kid, and I feel like that probably doesn't hold up very well at all. Dot hack sign. Fucking boring. I think I liked Dot Hack Sign just because I liked the concept so much. I think I knew the show was boring, but like I wanted to like it so
It's one of those things where you don't think that it's bad. You know it's boring, but you just think that it's you.
Right,
that
you
you're
think
not
it's your
it,
fault because you're a kid,
but
and then you watch it as an adult.
You don't
and
realize that it's actually horrible.
It's fucking insanely boring. Yeah. Favorite shows of the last decade. Most of my favorite shows are from the last decade. K-On!, Shirobako, everything. Just go look at my favorites list. Go to my anime list and click on the link that's in my about that goes to a list of like all of the anime I've given scores to in order and read that.
Everybody chilling in the Nexus.
Are there any video game soundtracks you listen to? I have
No.
listened to the Persona 3 OST about 1,000,000 times.
Far more than you've played the game.
Yeah, far more than I've played the
barely
game.
ever played the game, but I've heard that soundtrack so
It's
many times.
pretty fucking funny when you start playing the game and you immediately know all the
Yeah.
music. It's pretty interesting. Oh god, is there another game that I really listen to music from? I mean, I don't even listen to that one that much anymore, but I have heard it a lot of times.
Let's go farm some
Guess
Yeah.
just Persona 3.
life source.
I can't think of anything else.
I downloaded an 11-disc, like, 25th anniversary edition of Street Fighter's compilation of sounds and songs.
Jesus. I occasionally I will throw on a Zelda soundtrack on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they're usually like 2.5 hours long, and I'll just fucking leave them there.
Doop, 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 doop.
Oh, now I'm in the zone of people quoting their favorite quotes from anime from when I couldn't come up with anything. We have, and I know all these too, we have, "This world is made of love and peace!" from Trigun. Of course, "Who the hell do you think I am?" from Gurren Lagann. "Believe in the me that believes in you" from Gurren Lagann. "Fear is freedom. Subjugation is liberation. Contradiction is truth. Those are the facts of this world, and you will all surrender to them, you pigs in human clothing," which is Satsuki's thing.
Big.
Yeah.
That's the thing she says. In every episode.
What do I think of Mother's Basement's OPs analysis? They're pretty good. We talked about them earlier, but I might collaborate with him on the Ava opening at some point. Possibly.
My favorite line in anime is when Kirito says, "I have to go faster."
Oh, yeah. I have to go faster. I forgot about his fucking.
It's my
Him
favorite.
literally being Shadow the Hedgehog.
Gotta go fast, Kirito.
Jesus.
Who are some of your favorite stand-up comedians? I love Louis C.K.'s specials. I liked Donald Glover's special. I haven't watched a lot of specials in like
John
a long
Oliver.
time.
Brian
I don't really
Regan.
like his specials.
I
Um,
like John Oliver.
Yeah, John Oliver's great.
I like his shows more than his specials. I mean, they're not bad. I just wouldn't like probably rewatch them or anything. I guess Louis C.K. because I don't really watch a lot of stand-up.
Oh, shit.
Also,
Oswald.
Jesse Wood, who hates Louis C.K., but he also does great stand-up. The 2 times he's done it.
Mitch Hedberg, Lenny Bruce.
Have I watched Danganronpa? I have not. It does not at all seem like my kind of thing. In fact, it seems like the exact opposite of my kind of thing. I don't like death game shows. I don't like high school drama. I don't like edgy, violent shows. So, really not up my alley. Are you looking forward to the new Lupin the Third? And I remember you saying you didn't enjoy older anime. Can you elaborate? It's not that I don't enjoy them wholesale. It's just that they're a lot harder for me to get into because of like the pacing and just generally feeling like those shows have less going on, like on the moment to moment, and less concern for like flowery presentation. Like newer shows really try to have like a lot more atmosphere and stuff, I think, while also having a lot more going on. I could be wrong. Maybe I just never made it very far into an older show, and that's why I've never gotten into one. But, like, every time I've tried to watch something from the 70s, it's been difficult. Lupin the Third is too fucking long, but I watched one of the movies recently because I was watching everything from 1991. It was one of the Osamu Dezaki directed movies, and it was pretty good. I would definitely watch the new show if it finally started coming out. So I will let you know how I feel then. Someone said, I couldn't believe Tomino was the same guy who did Guardsie's Wing until that scene in G-Reco where the main character runs into a wall and eats shit down a flight of stairs. Still my favorite fucking scene,
man.
like, in anything from the past year. That was just classic. I can't believe it happened.
Oh, I love G-Reco.
I
need to finish watching that.
Yeah. We should just get really drunk and, like, do a reaction to G-Reco or something.
Yes. But it's one of those things you get hyped to watch because it's stupid, and then you watch it and you go, alright, I'm gonna have to actually, like, slow down and watch this.
Will Hope ever appear in a Digi and Friends series?
Thought about it.
We've thought about inviting her. She does watch them sometimes.
Always. She watches... Well, she
All
watches, the
Twilight
main
Princess.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she'll come on. It really depends on if she has time. I think she's usually busy because she's like a veterinarian. I don't know why I said it like that. She's a
technician is what she is.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like the other half of the word.
Veterinarian.
Yeah, she's a vet technician.
She's legit.
And she's pretty busy a lot of the time. So... And
we would certainly not be able to do like an entire game.
yeah,
Like,
we'd
it'd have to
probably
be, like,
do
a
like a
party game
short
kind of
game or
thing.
something, or a party game.
Yeah, short game.
Brandon, do you play Skullgirls, and if so, who's your main?
I play Valentine in Skullgirls.
Really, you stopped playing Peacock?
Peacock is my secondary. I don't consider it, like, to be
I
someone
can't
that I,
wear
like, focus on.
Because I'm a dude, I can't wear girl
And yes,
clothes?
long name Yuri was Sonohana. Sonohana Bira ni Kuchizuke o, now that I remember. I play Skullgirls. I play as Misfortune.
Did you see Robo Misfortune?
I have not seen Robo. Well, I saw it once at, I think at Otakon.
Yeah, she's pretty dope.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? Or maybe it was in a video that Shade was showing me. Either way. I'm really into experimental anime and absurdist comedy, but hate battle shonens. Would I enjoy Kill La Kill? Maybe. I don't know if I'd call it absurdist comedy. It's definitely not so much a battle shonen, especially not after like the first half. But I don't know. I think it's a fucking masterpiece, so I definitely recommend it. You should go watch like Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, because that sounds like it's exactly what you're describing. Experimental anime, absurdist comedy. Why do you keep asking me about his and her circumstances? I've answered that like 4 times. Is it just because I keep saying Karekano instead? Digi bro, if you could articulate your feelings about Sword Art Online in a sentence, what would it be? Go type into YouTube Jeff Burgess Bugs. You'll watch a music video for a song called Bugs by my friend Jeff Burgess, which is really cool. Great video, great song. And at the end, I give my 1-sentence review of Sword Art Online. So, go watch that. Do you like Death Grips? Yes! Very big Death Grips fan. One of my top 2 favorite bands.
Top 2.
Favorite power metal band?
Shit.
If
What?
No.
I thought that was ground down there.
if you consider Ensiferum power metal, then their first album. If not, then Blind Guardian, probably A Night at the Opera.
What about Galnerius Resurrection?
Oh, yeah, Galnerius. Never mind. That's my answer. Galnerius is my favorite power metal band. Resurrection's my favorite album by them.
Resurrection.
Followed by probably their next 2. But yeah, Resurrection's my favorite fucking power metal album. I'm glad you saved me there. I almost missed that one.
I will catch you guys in the future.
Alright, later, Brandon.
See ya,
I'm gonna go
Brandon.
put
Say
on
bye,
every t-shirt I
Brandon.
have.
Everybody.
Hell yeah, go put on t-shirts.
Yeah, I gotta put on every t-shirt. That'd be awesome.
Multiple t-shirts.
That's
Exactly
like
all of
50
them.
t-shirts.
What? Brandon had to go put on t-shirts, guys.
Yes, he's gonna wear as many t-shirts as he can.
50. Exactly, several.
Destiny is calling you, rushing through
Better
your
put on a
hands on
hat,
high.
'cause of your destiny. Brandon's back, he put on all the t-shirts.
I lost my phone. No, not my phone.
You guys can't see it, but he's got on
That
exactly
thing,
50
what's that
t-shirts.
card? Is that like a bus card?
No, it's not.
It's a
What is
Metro
that?
card.
Wait a second. I have my wallet and keys.
Okay.
We're all good.
Why didn't you like Zenko no Terror that much? Like I said, go watch the video.
Oh,
Go
Zanky Terror.
Go find the review that I wrote. It's in my anime analysis playlist. I hid it because it's not well written, but it will tell you
So
why I don't
Zanky,
like the
such
show.
terror.
It's just a very badly written video that I'm ashamed of. So
Yeah.
that's why it's hidden. But it is watchable. You just gotta find it. Did you want to be Kirito? Of course. You rip on your past self constantly. What are some things you are super proud of yourself for having done before the age of 19? The first thing that I did that I'm like really proud of, like from when I was a kid, was I wrote a whole magazine by myself. Because, like, I think I've explained this before, that what really got me into writing and like reviews was that I used to read like Nintendo Power magazines and I was like really obsessed with them. And so I decided I was going to write my own video game magazine, and I had written like a few before, like a few cover pages. Like I would always draw the cover and write the table of contents and then not continue. And then one summer when I was like 11 and we lived in Florida, I had nothing to do. So I spent the whole summer on lined paper writing a magazine, handwritten, and all the images I would trace, because my aunt had a light board, and I would trace images out of like Nintendo Power into my magazine. And I made the 75-page magazine, and I was like so proud of it, and it was like my first real like complete creative endeavor. That was what made me like more assured that I could become like a writer or something, or to make magazines in the future. I made a 22-page anime magazine a couple years later, and then wrote like half of a book around that time when I was young. I'm proud of certain posts that I wrote in the past that aren't necessarily like amazing, but were like benchmarks for my writing at the time. Like some of the stuff I wrote as early as 2008, I am still like a little happy with. Some of the reviews I wrote, like I've never taken down 3 of the reviews that I did on my anime list that were like the ones that people really upvoted a lot, and especially the Kashurn Sins one, because even though it's not my writing style now at all, like it was like the most intense, like intensely dense review. Like I just talked about everything. I talked about every fucking feasible aspect of the show in my review. Not necessarily in depth, but like it was super long and people really appreciated it. And I felt like for the style of review that's popular on my anime list, like I had done the best possible like version of that. And then like some of my Evangelion posts, that one I mentioned before, the Eva 2.22 post, I was pretty proud of. The Kata no Kyokai post that I wrote back then doesn't nearly stand up to what I've written about it now, but I was pretty proud of it back then. Do you remember anything I've been proud of in the past that I've like bragged about continuously over the years?
I don't know what you're proud of yourself for.
Well, surely you've heard of all those things I just named, like the
I
magazine
guess,
and
yeah.
shit. How many times did I brag about that growing up?
1 million times. Exactly 1 million.
Can you think of anything like that I've always been like, oh man, I did this in the past? I ate a whole hamburger in one bite. I've bragged about that a lot of times. So that's what I'm proud of.
You would eat mustard packets and shit.
I'm proud of. Well, that was more just like saying, you know, like, oh, I'm so weird.
You're
but, like,
so weird.
I was pretty proud of myself for eating a hamburger in one bite once. I still consider that an accomplishment. I don't think I could do that today. I don't know. What should I be proud of myself for? What have I made?
100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Well, that's not in the past.
Well, have a dub dub.
He said before I was 19.
I don't know. Nothing. You were a shitty child. Your life didn't even start until.
Yeah, I guess all the stuff I just said, and then I guess I was 19 by then. So. Vic accidentally makes a shot-for-shot remake of Memento. Is what happens when you try to make your next yield.
What you should be proud of is the fact that you stayed prolific enough and tried hard enough that you are good now.
Right.
You should be proud of the fact that you put in enough work to build your skills.
Well, I am proud of that. He was just asking if I'm proud of anything I actually did back then, and those would be the ones. Like I was. Those are the things that sort of made me feel like I was good and that I should continue. Anytime my blog was like featured by anybody or like mentioned by people who like I respected, that was always like a moment that I felt like, all right, I'm doing the right thing. People who are cool are recognizing me. What is my favorite episode of Rick and Morty so far? Probably Me Seeks and Destroy.
Really?
Yeah, the Mr. Meeseeks episode.
I think my favorite episode is the party one.
That one's pretty up there.
It's amazing.
Meeseeks and Destroy.
Or the TV one.
For like the Meeseeks for like the moral like questions that it posits and the interesting stuff that happens in it. Like it's just got a lot going on, and it's fucking hilarious. The Meeseeks are like the perfect character. I really like. The one with all the Ricks is fucking fantastic. The party one's great. I like those ones just because there's just tons of shit in the episode. Like there's so many weird
TV
funny
one is
things.
The funniest one.
The TV one's the funniest for sure.
I love it.
Lawnmower Dog's pretty great.
Baby legs and regular legs has changed my life. It's changed the entire way I speak and the way I communicate with people.
Season 2, episode 2 was fucking fantastic with Crumbopulous Michael and all that. That one was one of the funniest episodes.
Oh,
episode 3 was one of the deepest and most like, oh my god, you know. So yeah, I guess those ones. But yeah, Meeseeks is still my favorite. I want to know if you know anybody with the name of Remy Duchesne. If you know the dude, since he looks almost exactly like you in almost every way. Plus, he's said he's known you personally. Let's find out. Let's Google him.
Is he some kind of liar?
I don't know. That name sounds familiar. I got pictures of girls when I searched that, so I don't remember who that person is. So yeah.
Got big armor.
Anime Amino? I don't know what that is.
Anime Amigo.
Well, Skywatcher said, I'm out. Love you, Babu. I'll be back later tonight. But since he's gone, then I can't respond to him. Any more plans for Monogatari analysis? Your hour-long video is fantastic. Thank you. That is probably still my favorite video I've ever written in terms of the quality of the writing. because I think Monogatari was the most fascinating possible subject matter for me to tackle, and the one that I had the most to say about that no one else would have said what I said about, which is why I feel like that's the ultimate, like, me post. But,
Me. It's all me.
But I feel like as time's gone on, it's gotten, like, less interesting to talk about, because ever since second season, it's kind of been on the same train of thought, where it's just sort of, like, been... Each arc is, okay, now it's a plot. Now we have a plot. With Hana Monogatari being a little bit more like season 1. But, like, I don't think it's going to go in, like, a whole new... Unless it does, if it goes in, like, a whole new direction that's, like, completely unexpected like it did before, then it will definitely be worth talking about. But if it's just kind of going between the feel of season 1 and the feel of season 2, as it has been, then it might not be worth doing a whole nother big video about. But I might do some more, like, smaller just impression pieces if I ever finish Suki Monogatari and start watching season 2. To the person asking if I went over Dragon Ball Super, all current season shows, check out my video Weebin' Out with Digi and Nino. Who's your favorite character from Cardcaptor Sakura? Mine's Tomoyo. Mine is also Tomoyo. She is perfect. I got a little toy of her recently at Otakon. Let me show it off. I got this, and I was so happy with myself for getting it because it was one of those blind boxes, and it was like a 1 in 6 chance. And it was funny because all the other 5 were Sakura. There were 5 different Sakura outfits and Tomoyo, and I was like, I'm willing to buy this because no matter what, I get a good result. I always get either Sakura or Tomoyo, but I really want Tomoyo. And I didn't open it until, because there was like a raffle going on where they were giving away this huge, awesome Satsuki figure. And so I wouldn't open up my Cardcaptor Sakura box until they finished the raffle because I didn't want to use up my good luck if one or the other worked. And then once the raffle was over and I didn't get Satsuki, I opened it up and I got Tomoyo, and I was like, all right, I spared just enough luck to get this.
Just enough luck.
And yes, I can enjoy stupid superstitions like that. Oh man, I'm in the best tits argument. Someone said Mari from Ava. They're alright. I don't know about best. High School DxD Rias. I don't know it well enough. The prison lady from Dead Man Wonderland. I don't know that lady. Best tits Ava Unit 01. Rin from Kodomo no Jikan has the best tits. She doesn't even have tits. Yeah, I'm afraid we all have different tastes in tits. Digibro, what about the question, where does a program end and a life start that could be easily implemented in SAO and would give the story more weight? Like, does Yui count as an AI or a person? Could Yuki, the one of them, was the story arc be ported onto servers? Would that make her less human? Do you think those questions could be enriched in SAO? Maybe. I am a fan of those particular questions as they have popped up in other stories and also in the story I was trying to write in 2010. That was one of the big themes was whether or not like something being created, like programmed to, whether or not being programmed to feel things was the same thing as feeling things, because I think it is. So, yeah, it could be interesting. And Yui does still exist in my rewrite of SAO, as this person would be aware. So, yeah. Could be. Do you think Makoto Shinkai, who did Voice of a Distant Star, 3 centimeters per second, I think you mean 5 centimeters per second, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
Has what it takes to become the next generation's Miyazaki? Personally, no, because I don't really like his movies. 5 centimeters per second was pretty okay. But I generally find his movies really boring. And I thought the first two... Like, I haven't seen Voices of a Distant Star in like 10 years, so I can't really have an opinion on that. But Place Promised in our early days, I hated the visual direction of that movie. Like, every shot is really pretty and all, but there's very little cohesion between shots, and it just... I don't like the cinematography that he went for. I think it was improved in 5 centimeters per second, but that movie is so, like, disjointed and, like... The whole opening part of the movie is just a guy giving a fucking monologue while he's on a train, like, for 20 minutes. It's kind of boring. So, I don't know. I think Shinkai is I think he's overhyped because of the fact that he does it all himself, or at least he did on the first movie, and because his the visuals are obviously gorgeous stylistically, but like I just don't think he's that good at visual direction. And Hoshio Okodomo was fucking boring as shit. I passed out during the like world premiere of that at Otakon. Yeah. Thoughts on Homestuck in general? I really like it. I haven't read it in about 2 years, so I'm way behind, but I'm a really big fan of it. What are your favorite Coheed albums in order? Okay.
Oh, shit.
It's gotta be the Second Stage Turbine. Well, if you count the Penelope EP by Shibuti, then that is tied with the Second Stage Turbine Blade for number 1. And then In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, and then No World for Tomorrow, and then From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness, and then Year of the Black Rainbow, and I don't give a fuck about the Afterman. Don't really like Year of the Black Rainbow either, but I definitely don't like the Afterman albums. And whatever they're putting out now, their new single sucked balls, so I'm sure it's gonna be shit. So yeah, they're the first 4 albums in the order I said. And also the Penelope EP. Fantastic. How do you feel about anime and maturity? Because shonen and shoujo are aimed at younger teenagers, and even seinen is still targeted at adults under 30. It's odd to think about that kind of stuff as I'm getting older, and like I definitely appreciate more seinen type stuff, and I do wonder sometimes like, am I just going to grow out of anime because they don't make enough stuff for my generation? But I think more stuff will be made for my generation as we get older. Because again, I think anime is a relatively young medium that's getting bigger as time goes on, as more people grew up with it and are inspired to make it. I think as the generations that grew up with anime get older, they will start making anime for themselves and for older people. At least that's what I hope will happen. There's a lot of manga in Japan that's aimed at adults, including older adults, and I think some of that could start getting adapted maybe one day. So yeah, I don't know. I hope all those things I said. Did you know that Ray means 0? Yes, I did. I got a friend who's really into anime. Every conversation we have, he would bring up anime somehow. I have nothing against anime. All I know is the classic anime that aired on Toonami. All I want to know is that, how do you deal with a friend who is way into something than you? I usually tell them, dude, I don't give a fuck about cars. That's usually what I say. What about you?
So what?
How do you deal with a friend who's way into something that you're not into and wants to keep talking to you about it? I usually say, I don't give a fuck about cars.
You could either get into what they're into or ignore them.
Yeah, you could always get into what they're into. Most of the time when that happens
sometimes
to me,
you have to try, at least a little bit.
Right.
Like,
my friends are really into cars, and I can't take it when they start talking about cars. Eventually they'll stop talking to you about it because they'll find somebody else. And if they can't find anybody else, you're doomed, so just get into it. Alright. Thoughts on FMA versus FMA Brotherhood? I prefer Brotherhood because I thought the second half of Full Metal Alchemist 1 sucked. Look up the post.
Chunks out its own ass.
Look up the post. Full Metal Alchemist had a really shitty ending on my anime blog, and you'll find my thoughts on it at the time that I watched it.
Shit.
What's your stance on lollies? I say free the lollies. Lollies for all, says this guy. Followed by free lollies. Oh god, we're so fucking far. Like every minute the chat is farther. Like I'm farther behind what it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's scary. I can't. This post now in Bleach. A scientist's is fight a hand. It really stupid. It's awesome.
Sweet, bro.
I can't even interpret. Are you Yamato Takeru no Mikoto? Why do you think this is the work of a ghost?
Show me the ancient Japanese mad spirit.
My opinion on UFO Table I actually went really in-depth about earlier, so you'll have to wait for the video release of this. It was pretty early into the stream. No offense, but your Earthbound playthrough is the worst. You've said it yourself. Could you please at least give the part where you told the expelled from school story if you remember? It's got to be in like the 30s or 40s. I don't want to tell the story because it's really long. Like, and I'll just get way behind the chat, and because I already told it in there somewhere. So, I don't know. Just dig through the later episodes. If someone wants to help that guy out who knows where it was in Digi Bros, then do so. I've heard you and Vic talk about moving. What does that mean for Digi Bros? If it means the end, do you think you and Vic would do podcasts?
Podcasts.
If Victor moves away without the rest of the family, it will definitely be the end of Digi Bros.
Yeah.
If the whole family moves, then it could still keep going. We have no idea what the future will bring for that.
Don't make me think about the future.
Digi Bros was from the very beginning intended to go.
Yeah,
until
did not
Victor
think
moved.
it was gonna go very long.
Yeah.
Actually,
It was
I
like-
figured we'd last, a couple things and then get sick of it.
We'll play a few games. We don't know when Victor will leave. We'll stockpile some videos and just have them. And then we ended up just enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
So. Trevor says, very clean. Apparently banana ketchup is supposed to be good.
What an asshole.
I already answered a lot of this. Did 4chan visit, by the way? I saw a post about a raid here. I did not see any 4chan raid. Someone said something about stealth advertising on 4chan. Maybe that's what they were talking about, but I didn't see a raid. What did you think of Pacific Rim? I thought it was awesome. We did a podcast about it on Digibro After Dark back when it came out.
That's great.
If you could make all people watch 3 shows, which would it be, and why would it be Monogatari? It wouldn't be Monogatari. If I could make all people watch 3 anime shows, it would be Shirobako for sure. Probably Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. And K-On! Because it's my favorite show. And fuck it.
God damn it. Overburdened. Skyrim.
Do you have Flux downloaded on your computer? It puts less strain on your eyes, and it's free. I don't, and I don't know what it is. Do you have any real interest in getting into academics essays through Cider? Seems very natural to you, the only difference being a degree. I might. Me and Cider have talked about it a lot, that he wants to try to help me publish my videos, or like my essays as college ones. And he would just like rewrite them or reformat them to fit the format. But like, it's a possibility. I wouldn't mind being like academically paid or whatever to have essays on there. I don't really know shit about how it works, so I really need Ciders to guide me through it, and if it never happens, then it just won't ever happen. But yeah. Oh geez, this is long. He's just going on about not knowing about anime. Jesse says, "Goddamn rich cunts, I kill rich cunts."
I bet he does.
What do you think of Senran Kagura? I haven't seen it.
I need to go back and put items.
Give and Take says, I just remembered you had an idea to do a Hello Internet style podcast with me. Do you still want to do that? Maybe, if you're still into it. I think at the time it was because like you were really like needing something to do, and I really wanted to start a podcast. But I now have Digi Bros, so like Digi Bros took care of all of my desire to have a podcast that I had been like holding on to. Yeah, so I don't know.
Digibros killed the radio star.
So what about Your Anime Sucks with Shauna? I want to do it, but it's fucking, the show's 74 episodes long, or however many, and I don't think it'll be a revelation to anybody. I'm scared to try to watch it, just to piss myself off to do a video about it. So when's that Toradora podcast with Tom happening? Man, never now, because like the whole point was like Tom had just watched the show and he was all like, "Oh man, Toradora is so fucking good," and I had watched it like 6 months beforehand, and I was like, I really didn't have an idea of like how to do a video about Toradora, but I wanted to talk about it because I like the show a lot. So I was like, "Oh, Tom, we could do a podcast on it." And he's like, "Oh, sure, sweet." But Tom is like notoriously impossible to organize for anything because you have to like really twist his arm and give him a date and like force him to show up for him to show up to something. So I kept asking him when we do a Toradora podcast, and he'd never give me a date, and so we just never ended up doing it. And I'm sure he doesn't remember the show well enough, nor do I anymore. So if I do any content about Toradora, it will not involve Tom because he's impossible to organize. Does Terra remind you of Log Horizon or SAO? Neither one, really. Log Horizon is very EverQuest, from what I understand. And SAO is very no actual MMO in existence, except, like, maybe, I don't know. Okay. Oh, yeah. They were asking earlier, how did you meet Hope?
We were friends in high school.
That's what I said.
Me and Marcus made a Japanese culture club.
See, I was
That's
right.
where I met her.
My thoughts were correct.
Yes.
How long will the chat go on for? As long as we can fucking manage it. Cat girl or bunny girl? Bunny girl. Bunny girl's more adorable. Both are pretty good. I am not averse to either one. This is a fair point. Hunter x Hunter was probably around when you were 14. It definitely was around when you were 14. The original show came out in 99.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah, but it's like, it's great. A lot of people like it more.
I mean,
than
I
the new
wish
one.
it wasn't around.
Right.
You know?
It was not like around, but like, yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to, find it.
Any shows you wish you could experience for the first time again? Doesn't have to be anime. For the first time again. Most stuff gets better when you rewatch it, I think. Is there anything you can think of where you really, like... I guess, like, Gurren Lagann, like, was so fucking hyped the first time, like, in a way that it could never be again.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I can't believe this is fucking actually happening, like,
Yeah.
that this is real. So probably that. I don't know if... Yeah, I feel like even now, I'd be equally hyped watching that. Like, it would be just as... Even if I saw it for the first time today, I'd still be like, holy fucking shit, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gurren Lagann. We'll say that. Do you have any honest and serious explanation for why Sword Art Online is so popular despite its awfulness? Yeah, it's just that it's...
Looks good.
A lot of it's that it looks good, and that the basic appeal is so obvious. Like, people love death game shows because it's like an automatic way to have drama and stakes. Like, if you say, you know...
I like stakes.
The second you say, if you die in the game, you die for real, it's like, the stakes are immediately super high.
Medium rare.
And that's why that genre is so big. You've got shit like fucking Danganronpa super popular. The Hunger Games is super popular.
Would you say that
like,
those stakes are well done?
Any kind of death game or survival game is always gonna be like immediately have like a good draw, and then you've got the fact that it's about video games and it looks really nice and it looks like a game you'd actually want to play. Like, that's a big part of it, that you look at that game and you go, oh my god, why can't this game be real? You know, they had really good background art, really good character designs. It really felt like a video game that you would be interested in. And, you know, it just, from that basis, it just starts off immediately feeling like it's going to be cool. And then you've got the whole fucking Kirito's Batman thing from episode 2, where he like, oh, I'm a beater, and you're like, oh man, what a rad guy. So it sets up your expectations really high, and then you kind of have a very slow realization that it's not going to meet your expectations when you realize that they're not focusing on the main plot, and then you realize that they're not gonna, like, that they get trapped in a fucking forest for 2 episodes, and then that they wrap up the ending in 5 minutes, and you're like, what what happened here? You know, like, I think it just has such a strong foundation that it worked in spite of its flaws to most people. Yeah. Have you watched any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and if so, what do you think of it? I've seen all the Iron Man movies, and I really like those because I really like the Robert Downey Jr. character. Because I love him in I love the Sherlock Holmes movies for pretty much the same reason, although I like them more than Iron Man. But I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy. I've got a poster of it right back there. Wait, it's still back there?
You
Oh,
can guard my galaxy.
Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, it's on the...
Oh, it's over there.
Oh, yeah. It's up there. Okay. We've got a Guardians of the Galaxy poster in here. What other Marvel? The Avengers 1 was really good. I never saw the second one. I haven't seen the Captain America movies, or the Hulk, or any of the new ones from like this year.
Oh,
I don't know.
shit,
What do you think
that was
of
a really
the
far drop.
MCU?
It's alright.
I'm definitely sick of it now
Yeah,
because I'm
it's
sick of
getting
the
old.
I'm sick of the format.
Exactly,
I'm
it's
sick
all
of,
the same shit.
Like a movie that I can easily tell you exactly what's gonna happen. Like,
Oh,
at
it's
each
a bunch of cool
moment.
stuff. It's funny. It's fun. And then there's a giant battle.
Yeah, I hate the giant battles that they always end with. It's
Yay,
just
where
too
they were
much.
battling for years and years and decades.
Okay. Let's continue. Are you an Avatar: The Legend of Korra fan and the whole Avatar franchise? I really liked the original Avatar show. I was really into it.
Korra's very hit and miss.
Korra's very hit and miss. I didn't bother watching most of it. I saw like episodes here and there that I thought were mostly just like, oh. So, not interested in finishing it. Everyone who I know who finished it was kind of let down. So, yeah. I like the original, though, quite a bit. Someone apparently started crafting the Rose Saber from Revolutionary Girl Udana last week. That sounds pretty rad. Have you ever heard of Cromartie High School? Yes, it is pretty fucking hilarious. We were trying to recreate the opening theme at BronyCon, but we never did it right. The doke, doke, doke. Wait, didn't we take footage of that? Like, didn't we try it when we were on the hallway? Did we ever film any?
Well, not really.
Oh. Well, we never got to do it right. Someone says, dang, I need to watch Ippo. My friend is obsessed with it to the point of starting to box. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I did.
That's what happens when you watch Ippo. Victor did the same thing.
You start trying to become a boxer. Then you realize it hurts.
Have you tried
You're not gonna
60
take a hit.
FPS anime? I assume you mean when you speed an anime or
Sounds
like
like a
you have
disaster.
you have it add frames. It's always a fucking trip. That 10x AMV was pretty cool, I guess. Do you like Gare Zero and did you read the manga? I've only seen the first 2 episodes of the show. It seemed interesting, but I never finished it. Ooh, Steven Universe soundtrack is great. I agree. I like Ivy and Sarashu a lot. I have their album, The Black Box, and I think it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What game has your favorite art design? Probably the Persona series. Well,
Bloodborne.
I'd say for character design, the Persona series. For like art design of the world, Dark Souls is pretty beautiful. I know everybody else likes Bloodborne more, but I think Bloodborne's too dark.
Too dark.
This game, Demon Souls, is pretty fucking
Demon
fantastic
Souls.
art design.
Yeah, definitely the spooky places.
Let me
Oh,
look at my
fuck.
games.
Oh, these dudes look like they're ready to go.
I don't know. Hard question. All of them. They're all good. They're all beautiful. Anything that's not brown. Like, all brown. I mean, I realize that's what's on screen is mostly red and brown right now, but, like, anything that doesn't look like The Last of Us. Or, like,
True though.
Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty's just ugly as shit, but, like, games like The Last of Us that, like, are really pretty, but it's just, like, normal shit, I feel like it's a waste of, like, the technology.
I like games with bosses and monsters.
My thoughts on Non Non Biori. They said some people say Non Non Biori is boring. Personally, I find the slow pacing of the show cathartic and thoroughly enjoy the show. But I was wondering your thoughts. I think it's boring. I don't get Non Non Biori because like everyone seems to think it's like the best slice of life show of the last few years, and like I don't really like the characters. I watched like the first 2.5 episodes, and like none of the characters really appealed to me. I don't really like their designs or their voice acting or their personalities. It bothers me that Renge looks like a little girl but sounds like a woman holding her hands over her nose and like talking like this. And it bothers me that the main character girl is like, the whole joke is that she's 10 but she looks like she's like 15, but it's really weird to watch because of that. And I didn't get any of the jokes, didn't find it funny from the first 2 episodes I watched, so I was just kind of like, okay, I guess this is one of those things that everyone else is gonna like more than me.
Yeah.
Kind of feel similarly about Yuri Yuri. Like that show got like a really highly praised by like moe anime fans, and like I didn't find it that funny, so didn't get into it.
Oh shit.
What's your opinion of Takashi Miike? I've got a Gozu poster back there. Can't see it on the camera. Well,
fuck.
I haven't seen a whole lot of his films because he has like fucking 90 of them, but like I really liked Gozu. I love the ending of Dead or Alive. Happiness of the Katakuris was a fucking experience. Visitor Q was a fucking experience.
Yeah.
Did not like Sukiyaki Western to Django, but I don't think I understood it. Overall, Gozu is definitely my favorite of his movies. Yeah. Did you ever fully understand the taxi driver themed episode of Ghost in the Shell's second gig? I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been too long.
Oh, too many gigs.
Okay. What do you think of the manga Light of Sukumi Manor? Never heard of it. Just because you're correct doesn't mean you're right. You know that's a real quote from Unlimited Blade Works.
Nice.
Just because you're correct doesn't mean you're right. From the same guy who said people die when they are killed.
Nice. Oh, yes.
Someone said no Trevor on Skype. He never called me, so I guess not.
Hate that shit.
Have any of you played any Paper Mario games? Unfortunately, I have
Since I was
not.
a kid.
I think we rented it like
Yeah.
once. I always hear that they're
I
like
kinda
really
wanted to,
fucking good.
But it seemed like something that would take a lot of
I
concentration.
know Yahtzee's a big fan of them. Funniest comment you've read on your anime sucks SAO videos? Probably I like swords.
Yes.
Or I don't remember if that was the comment who said this, but there was someone who had a comment and their name was Tiger Forever.
Yes! Tiger Forever!
That was pretty
I love
fucking
it!
great. Yeah.
Tiger Forever. It's Patches.
Can you talk about Toradora and your thoughts on
We're
it
gonna
if you've
patch
seen
it
it?
up.
I really like Toradora. I really like the main characters and their like relationship and the reason that they work together, because they pretty much just fill in the gaps in what's wrong with the other person. Like each of them has a lot of flaws that the other person does a great job of compensating for. And I love the idea. Taiga is like the perfect like bitchy tsundere character because you immediately figure out why she's like that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, and she's not really natured that way. Like she only acts like that really at the beginning because she's pissed off about things in her life, but like as she calms down you really see her become like more of a capable, functional person. I think both of the characters grow a lot from each other. I will say I think the later part of the show gets a little like fucking stupid with the drama, but it has a great ending. Did you get turned on by the scene in Higurashi when Shion is being tortured and then pisses herself? No,
fuck?
I didn't.
God.
That's gross.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Alright. What are your thoughts surrounding the incident of the 13th angel in Ava? To me, some of the I'll tell you when I get there in the show, and if I have any thoughts, I'll make a video about it. I haven't rewatched all of Ava in like 10 years, so yeah. What is the most overused term in the anime community? Either pretentious or forced drama. Both of those. Overrated and underrated are overused in every community, but I think pretentious and forced drama. Pretentious has kind of calmed down a bit. People used to say it all the time, but now forced drama has come out of nowhere, and I don't know what it means. I have no idea what it means. What the fuck is forced drama?
Drama that they had to put in the show to make it dramatic.
Someone watched the Bugs video and said, confirmed, Digiroad is a Sword Line is absolutely correct. What is your MBTI type? I am, what was it? INFP?
Yeah, we were both INFP.
Yeah, we were both INFP. The test I took for that recently, when I read the description, it was extremely accurate. It sounded exactly like me down to the letter.
Except so. I was turbulent, whereas you were,
You're turbulent
stable.
INFP, and I'm a not whatever the other one is.
I think if I took it, like, now, I'd probably get something different.
You think?
Yeah. Or at least I wouldn't be turbulent anymore.
Yeah, so we're both INFPs, apparently. In what is it? Introspective, feeling,
nerd.
perceiving... Yeah, nerd. Digi, you mentioned how you wish you were gay, or if you magically flipped genders, would you be attracted to men rather than women? If I become a woman, I hope I'm a gay woman. That would be perfect, because that's all I've ever wanted in my life.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
If I were gay, I just think there's a I think there's probably more women interested in me than I know about, because I don't hear about it a lot. I've been like openly flirted with by guys a lot more.
Gay guys are so much more direct.
Yes.
Very straightforward.
Well, because
very
they're trying to
convenient.
fucking actually find a gay guy, so they're just
Exactly.
like, "Hey, I'm fucking gay.
Gay guys have no problem.
Are you gay? Let's do
trying.
this." Yeah, women. I just realized how
Holy
the camera
shit,
is
that
still
thing
set
exploded.
for like 3 people, and not for 2. So yeah, women, I am really dense. If you don't come on to me strongly, I won't know.
Yeah.
I've had several times where girls told me that they had a crush on me for a long time, and I didn't know. So, not a good idea to be coy. I will not realize...
Leave the koi for the koi fish.
Yeah, and I'll never make a move on you. You have to make a move on me. I won't do it. Okay. I love that I just said that, because someone said take a shot whenever they say dense or aesthetic. So I just said I'm
dense in so many different ways.
Yes, in so many ways.
So dense.
And I thought about it when I said it too, but yeah. You'll die if you take a shot every time I say dense or aesthetic.
Yeah.
Have you watched Nisekoi, and what's your opinion on it, if so?
Conan has that dense aesthetic.
I watched one episode and it did not seem like my thing. Who's the most moe character that comes to mind?
Me.
The most moe. Purudin. Mysterious Purudin. Let's see. You're at a meeting in an anime production studio. They want you to pitch an anime. What do you pitch? And you have full control over the creativity of everything. I pitch a Kata no Kyokai style adaptation of Boogie Pop and Others. Or I pitch my own original series. I don't know. I would like a proper Boogie Pop. I want something to make Boogie Pop and Others popular enough that the novels start selling somehow and they start releasing more of them here, so I can read the rest of the fucking Boogie Pop series. I don't even care if I like it. I just need to sate my fucking 10 years of curiosity about where it goes, because I've heard it gets crazy. Hi, why were you deeply into video games in the past when you can't anymore? Is this just an era of your taste, or was your past self fooled?
Fooled.
Okay. This is from the
You
Devu.
always sucked at video games.
I've always sucked at them, but I used to be really into them. Like, how would I put this? In 2004, I was really into anime with my cousin Boyd, and then he wasn't around as much, and so I wasn't watching as much stuff on DVD. And I was always missing Toonami because they fucking moved it, and I was always at school and shit. So I was watching a little bit less anime, and then Victor got... there was like an advertisement for winning Sly Cooper 2, because it was coming out. Victor bought Sly 1, and I played through it, and I got really into it. And then I started playing through all the classic PS2 games, like Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter and stuff. And then I got into JRPGs, like after... Because what happened was we moved into a new house right at this period, and like right after I'd played like 2 games, and then we had G4 TV at that time, which was like the gaming
I guess
channel.
G4 really got us
And
into
so
games.
like all we would watch was G4 for a long time, and so I started learning all this stuff about gaming history and like what was popular and what was hyped up. And I got a subscription to Game Informer as well, so like I was surrounded by like games hype a lot. And like the only people I knew in our middle school at the time were like a big time gamer guy who was really into Xbox. And I was like just surrounded by video game hype and culture, and like I was playing more games, but I still barely ever finished them. Like I mostly finished action games. I would play a lot of JRPGs, but never get that far in them. And I would buy a lot, and I did a lot of research on games and learned a lot about game history. But it was just a period of time where like I had an allowance, so I could actually afford games, and like to afford to buy new games like semi regularly. And usually, well, I usually bought used games, I should say, but like, you know, new to me. And yeah, so it's just like a time when I had time. I was in middle school. I had time to play them. You know, I did a lot of research on them. I had money to buy them. And then what happened was we moved out of that house, and then we didn't have a lot of money at this time. So I no longer had an allowance, and I couldn't really buy video games anymore. And the house we moved into had a really slow connection on the internet, so it was really hard for me to research stuff anymore. And my PS2 broke upon us moving into this new house for no fucking reason, even though it was only like a month old. So I couldn't beat any of the games I had. So it became a period where I was mostly watching Victor play games on GameCube and stuff, and not really playing any myself. And so that was when I got into music. And then by the time we were like financially stable again and I started having allowance again, I started buying CDs instead of games, and just never got back into video games in the same way. And then, you know, I got back into anime, and that takes a lot of time and money, and I got like so invested in that culture that I never really returned to video game culture in a big way. And games are just so fucking long. It's so much of a pain to try to get through a game that as I get older it just gets harder and harder. So yeah. A really important question. I currently watched Bake Nisei Neko, but not season 2. Should I watch your Monogatari series or wait till second season? I cover all of it, so watch second season as well if you want. I mean, you can always pause before I talk about each new section, because I really go through it like chronologically. But yeah, whatever works for you. What semi-serious show do you think should get a comedy-centric season in the fashion of Full Metal Panic Fumofu? What do you think, Vic?
I don't know.
What serious show would be good as a comedy? Full Metal Alchemist could be funny as a comedy.
Maybe.
It'd have to be something where all the characters have like really strong personalities. And I mean, Full Metal Panic was already a good comedy when it was a comedy. Like it had great comedic scenes in the show already, so it really translated pretty easily. Because like fish out of water comedy was a big part of it. So if you could find another show like that that has like a big comedy element to it, it would probably work that way. I can't think of a good example. Weaving out with Nino needs to be a regular thing each season. It might be. Nino really likes doing podcasts with me, so it could happen again.
These things are terrifying.
Someone said Mamoru Hosoda is the next Miyazaki. I think in terms of like becoming famous and like well respected, Hosoda will be like that. I don't think anybody's style is really like Miyazaki. I think like what he really brings to the table is something very different from like Hosoda and all them. But I think in terms of like becoming the big name that everybody will know, who has like a bunch of classics under his belt, it will be Mamoru Hosoda. Especially since Satoshi Kon unfortunately died young. So yeah, I agree. Hosoda could be the next Miyazaki in terms of fame. Thoughts on Order of the Stick? I never played it. And Wolf Children's not his latest, Amelia. It is, he just released a new movie called The Boy and the Beast. I don't know anything about it yet, though.
Ooh.
Other than that, it's sold like fucking crazy.
Oh, we put out a new movie. Yes, he did.
Who in anime do you think is the most overpowered character other than the obvious god that is Kirito? I don't know. I don't pay much attention to power levels and stuff.
Any new type?
Yeah, any new type from Gundam. There you go. Actually,
I was just watching Unicorn
fucking-
Gundam. I'm like, this kid is just, genetically more badass than everyone in the
fucking
world.
Judo Ashita. Look up my friend Ghost Lightning's writing
The
about
kid
Double
from
Zeta.
the third arc of Gundam Ace is pretty fucking overpowered. Fuck my ass.
The opening video for Double Zeta Gundam starts off by showing the previous protagonist. It shows like a skull of like an ape, and then it molds into like a human. Like it goes through stages of evolution, and then it shows like Amuro, and then it shows Camille, and then it shows Judo. Like Judo is the final form of human evolution. And like in the first episode, he kicks the ass of like the rival pilot who's supposed to be like the most badass in Zeta Gundam, and he just whops the floor of them in episode 1. It's just like super overpowered, and yeah. So Judo Ashita, or anyone from Gundam Seed, from the ones who can are
Judo
so
is the next
pacifistic that they can
evolution.
get away with not killing anybody because they're too good at pilots. Will I ever make a video about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood? Maybe. I answered that earlier in more depth, so... yeah, we're still, like, way the fuck behind. It's probably, like, 30 minutes. We already answered MBTI thing. Worst studio, in your opinion?
B-Train, right?
In terms of, like, bottom out of quality, B-Train, because they just... almost everything they made is awful.
A1.
A1 makes me more mad. Because, like, B-Train used to piss me off because their shows are bad, but, like, the point of their studio is that they're, like, a training studio and stuff. And, like, their shows are kind of obviously bad, whereas, like, A1 Pictures they just bank on god-awful scripts all the time. They pump out shit constantly. They don't take good care of their people, from what I understand. I know there was, like, there was one period where there was like suicides tied to A1 Pictures, where like
Jesus
their
Christ.
people were just being overworked, and they always have like a revolving door fucking
I
staff.
kill myself
It's
for
just,
making Sword Art Online.
I think this was before Sword Art Online.
Uh,
It just doesn't seem like a good work environment, and it doesn't seem like they care very much about the shows they make. They just fucking pump them out constantly. So yeah, A1 Pictures is probably like the worst in general, but in terms of like having the worst shows, it's probably B Train.
Fucking lizards.
Funnily enough, someone said, "Really, I thought you'd hate Pacific Rim, as it's essentially a poorly written Evangelion ripoff." Funnily enough, my Pacific Rim video is 40 minutes of me complaining about people calling it an Evangelion ripoff. So
Is it even, really?
there's some very basic similarities. What's his name? Guillermo del Toro had not seen Evangelion until after he made Pacific
Calling
Rim.
it an Ava ripoff is just such a annoying stretch.
Well, because it's the problem with that is that it ignores all of the things that influenced Ava.
Yeah.
That it's more like it's more like the stuff that influenced Ava than it is like Ava. And it's clearly paying homage to certain older stuff. So anyway, watch my video about it. I go really in depth about that. What moment from a show made you tear up, even if it was something super subtle? Oh god, everything. Like I said, Shirobako, the last 2 episodes in particular, like that's the most recent thing that I was just like fucking like ready to lose my shit from like a new anime.
I think red-haired girl from Shirobako is #1 waifu.
Really? Red-haired girl's your favorite?
She's just my favorite.
I'm all about blue-haired writer girl. Diesel. Diesel-chan.
Yes. She's great too. They're all great.
They are all great.
But red hair is like... It's the best. I don't remember her name. Of course not. I don't remember any names. Still be my waifu.
Thoughts on Nemo Scene? I only ever saw the first 3 episodes. I really liked episode 1 back when it came out, just because it had cool shit like blaster knuckles and lesbians. I've heard it's a complete clusterfuck. And the opening and ending are fucking god tier. It's the Galnerius. Crowd in the midst of time.
Oh, yes.
You must take your aim and play your game. Eternal vigilance is the price that you must pay for your desire. It's all sashia.
Totally not what he sounds like at all, but, you know.
You just go against the light.
Shit, no!
It does kind of
Crap
sound like
between
that. It's
these
like a high-pitched
penises.
version of that. 3 hours till pub crawl. Any idea if you're gonna make it? Probably not, because we'll be doing this.
Yeah.
Because this seems to be going strong. The chat has not died down at all.
Yeah. I'm still playing a game.
Watch Chaika? No. I only made it through 2 episodes of that. I quickly got bored.
Chaika's stupid.
Have you seen the Hannibal TV series? No. What do you think of MGMT? I think Congratulations is probably one of my top 10 favorite albums. I thought about, just today, I was listening to Congratulations on repeat to congratulate myself for getting 100,000 subscribers. And, I had previously had it just outside my top 10 favorite albums, but I think it belongs in there because I've never gotten sick of it. I've listened to it like hundreds of times. The last song, Congratulations, is one of my favorite songs of all time. Their first album, Miraculous Spectacular, has some good tracks on it. A lot of stuff I don't really care for. And their latest album is pretty fun to listen to as like just a background music type thing. And Alien Days is a great track. But Congratulations is definitely one of my top 10.
What do you think of Ben 10? Alien Force?
I don't care for Ben 10.
Would you say that Ben 10 Alien Force is the best anime?
More like Ben 10 Galien Force.
Oh, you have said that it is gay. This has been humor.
Oh. Do you think the kind of analysis you do on anime requires having seen a lot of anime? Depends on which type you're talking about. I think anybody could break down like what makes a show interesting and good. Like the kind of thing I did with my Dude Rah 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 video the other day. I think anyone could do that kind of analysis if you can find in yourself to explain why you think a show is interesting. The stuff like the Nanoha retrospective or the anime within anime say about anime, you definitely need to know a lot of shit to do those. That's pretty much based entirely on my stupidly vast knowledge of anime. What would be your ideal place to live? If money is no
Colorado.
object... Colorado? What the fuck? Out of nowhere. If money's no object, then Tokyo, obviously. It's so dense.
So tense.
And it's where Akihabara is. And why would I not? Other than that, it's Japan, and nobody likes living in Japan. Who goes there, but like I don't know, if I could be like a globe hopper, that'd be great. Like have one house in Japan, one house in the US. I think Virginia Beach is a pretty ideal place to live, and I live there, so the only problem here is that there's nothing to do past fucking 12. And not much to do before 12. I already talked about my favorite live action films earlier, so you'll have to watch the videos for that. What are your thoughts on in media res? I think it can be pretty cool if it's done well. It's a good narrative technique sometimes. Will you do a video on Utna? Probably. Probably. I make no promises.
Definitely, probably.
Do you think you'll still collaborate with Tommy Oliver even though you both do not cover MLP content anymore? It depends on if we had something to collaborate on. As I described earlier, he is very, very hard to organize. If we did anything together, it'd probably just be a podcast. If we could even get that happening. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Why did you put Shiki as a cult classic on your intro to anime lists? Or rather, why makes Shiki good for you?
Shiki's pretty fucking fun.
Shiki's fantastic.
It is stupid.
That show...
But I enjoyed it a lot.
Stupid. It was fucking
When I
great.
watched it with Hope, we made fun of it the whole fucking time. I was just like, this show is fucking ridiculous.
I think it's like meant to be
I think
made
it
fun
looks
of in
very
certain
stupid,
ways.
yes.
Oh yeah, the look is ridiculous, but like it's definitely tongue in cheek.
Yes.
Like it intends to be like
It was
funny.
a lot of fun.
But like the first half of Shiki is kind of like a horror comedy, and then it becomes a really disturbing horror. Like it just gets really fucked up, and it was interesting because of like the moral position it puts you in, where like you have to choose a side. It's like, do you side with the Shiki, who are often the more interesting characters and are like, you know, they're eating people for sustenance, or do you side with the humans who are trying to protect themselves but have become a cult of murderous insanity? It ends with everyone fucking loot. Like no one wins really, you know, like it's devastating, and I really enjoyed it.
I am deep in the fucking caverns, man. I'm afraid. I'm naked and afraid.
Do you think Hunter x Hunter is a deconstructive shonen with the twists on the naive, simple-minded protagonist facing serious consequences and then tweaking on some common tropes of the genre? No, I think all of them do that. I think most shonen eventually has the character have to face something awful. Like, in Naruto Volume, 4, he watches fucking, I think it's Haku, get his fucking heart pulled out by Sasuke, or... No, yeah, whoever it was, I think Sasuke impales a kid through the heart in Volume 4 of Naruto. And it was like, the kid was like kind of friends with them, and it's this really bloody, violent scene. And, you know, they have to learn the harsh reality of, like, people die and it sucks. And, I'm trying to think of another good example. People die when they're killed.
Yeah.
Change the game on Twitch. I already did that, didn't I? It says Demon Souls for me. Favorite use of the Xanatos Gambit in anime. And then it goes on to explain what that is. Too complicated for me to think of an example off the top of my head. Let's see. If you were to cosplay, who would you most want to cosplay as? I really want to cosplay as Chris Chiaki, the main character from Garzy's Wing. I started working on a cosplay last year, but I got lazy and never finished it. But I really want to do it. And I'm going to walk around Otakon with a toy sword and film vlogs of myself yelling about everything going on.
Holy shit, that lava.
Okay.
Oh my god, that room is terrifying. Oh my Jesus.
I don't get why people keep asking how long is the stream supposed to be. It was a 24-hour stream that started at 3 p.m. It's not hard to do a little
Math that
math
out,
there.
bitches.
Not that I know if we can last that long, because my eyes are killing me. You know
My
what?
neck
I'm
really
gonna take
hurts.
one of these Advil.
Oh, you have Advil? I was gonna go downstairs and chug some ibuprofen.
This could help.
How many milligrams are those tablets?
Take pills to fix your
Those
problems.
are my tablets. I was wondering where those went.
Yeah, I took them with me to the cons.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna take like 3 of those.
What's a show you went into expecting to hate but came out loving it? What's a recent example? So I already went through like Bleach and all that shit. Higurashi.
Oh!
Where's the...
I only need a
I have
tank
the
top.
cap for that. Can you think of a show that you thought you were gonna hate but you ended up loving it?
Shit.
I didn't know what to expect from Shimoneta this season, and I ended up really enjoying the episodes of that I've seen. I wouldn't say I expected to hate it, but I definitely didn't expect it to be that good.
There's gotta be something that I can think of. Because I hate lots of things.
Is there something I have like a poster for that I expected to hate? I know there's answers to this. They're just not coming to me right now. And I'm trying to think of like a favorite show that I expected to not like.
Queer Evolve.
Yeah, you definitely after the first episode did not expect to like Aquarion Evolve.
I still don't think I love it. in a special way. In that like special Nick Cage kind of way.
Are you afraid of
Where
getting
the fuck
old?
is the end of this level?
I'm not afraid of getting old. I am afraid of like dying or like decaying. Like I'm afraid of physically getting old. Mentally I feel like I'll only get smarter and better as I grow older,
Yeah.
but I fear losing like control of my body and shit like that. What minimum score is required for you to buy merchandise for? For me, a mid to high 7. That's about right. Like I don't necessarily base it exactly on like
Holy
score.
shit.
If there's like
Oh
there's a
my
show,
God, this is terrifying.
yeah, I've never seen this place before.
It's because there's like
Oh my god.
there's areas in the game that you can only get to if you have like the perfect world
Oh yeah.
affinity, and like I'm pretty sure they've updated it at this point so you just always have the perfect world affinity.
Right.
So I've been going to those places.
Um.
I can't get to the end of this level. I'm just gonna go back and fucking level up and start over.
Right. Merchandise. I'd say like if there's a show that I maybe only barely like, but there's like a character I really like from it or something, and like there was like a cool toy, maybe I'd buy something for it. For like a 7 out of 10 or up, I'd try to buy like some kind of piece of merch, just like whatever feels relative to like how much I enjoyed it. Like, I think a good like baseline 7 for me is No Game No Life, and I bought the T-shirt from that, but a big part was because I wanted that shirt because it's a cool shirt. So like something like that, even if it was like a 6, if there was like something I really wanted from the show, maybe I'd get something from it. But like looking at my list of scores, I don't think I've bought anything from less than a 7 so far. So yeah, that's a pretty good number.
I can't get out.
What about you suck dick, you have Ebola? That was a pretty good comment from the SAO videos. You suck dick, you have Ebola.
True.
Oh my god. My thoughts on Madoka Rebellion are all in my Madoka video. I didn't understand it and I didn't like it. Will you ever do another comment reply video? I don't think so. Like with the Sword Art Online one, like the whole point of that was that there were some like worthy comments on there that I wanted to save, so I did it in video form so that those comments would still exist. Unfortunately, the encoding of the video was so bad that all the comments are completely unreadable, so didn't work out that well, but like yeah.
How do I get to the end of this level? Maybe it was up here.
Someone said rest in peace whoever took those shots. What would you sell your soul to the devil for? Turning into the guy from Danaganani and just living his life. Maybe.
I would sell my soul to the devil to direct the Sword Art Online live action movie. Because that has become my dream.
Oh no.
All of my plans for the future, I'd say. I just tell Hope all these things we're gonna do after I get $1 billion for directing the Sword Art Online live action movie. We'll be able to travel the world, buy a submarine and things like that. Helicopters. It's my dream. My one dream.
Why is there no anime about skateboarding yet? I don't know. I don't know if skateboarding's popular in Japan. I know there's been characters who do skateboard. Killua.
It is interesting. Someone, some manga author needs to fucking make that.
There
and
might
become
be a
very
manga
famous.
about it.
Probably.
There's
Bad
so
manga,
much
maybe.
sports manga in Japan that doesn't even get adapted into anime. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of stuff.
Someone's had to have made some awful fucking skateboarding manga.
or a good one that's just never been adapted. You know, maybe one with like a crazy weird art style or
Does
something.
Ear Gear count?
No, Air Gear's just inline skating.
I don't fucking know that.
I'm trying to remember how the opening to that goes, but in my head it's just a Dead Man Wonderland opening.
Beyblade.
Because the Air Gear opening like sounded exactly like a Linkin Park song, like it basically was.
I think I heard that the other day because I was watching the Jing opening and then it just started auto playing from like a playlist.
Uh-huh.
And then the Air Gear opening was in there. I was like, what is this Linkin Park song?
Why do you think the MLP community die? It's not dead. BronyCon supposedly had more people this year than ever before. I don't think it's dead at all. I think there's just new people coming in and old people leaving. What do you think about the future of Studio Ghibli? I think they're gonna just probably experiment for a while. Like, from what I understand, Isao Takahata has made it clear they're very much not dead. Hayao Miyazaki is currently working on a short CG animated film, apparently, like his first time working with CG. They did that show where they did the design work for it on that CG animated show, the whatever of the thieves. I don't remember what it was called, which was not bad, just really jarring to watch, which is why I didn't finish it. But like, I think they'll keep making stuff. I don't know if they'll hold together after Takahata and Miyazaki die. I wouldn't be surprised if they just disperse and everybody goes somewhere else. It seems like people don't really like working for Ghibli, so
Fucking giblets.
so who knows? How would you describe a character-driven story? I've never been sure how to use that word. I think all stories are character-driven. I think that term doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, I get what it means, like, you know, like the arcs of the characters are what's most important, more so than like the overhanging like what they're trying to get done. Like, it's more about watching the characters progress than it is about watching the narrative play out. But I don't know. I think characters drive all stories. People are having a fucking power level debate. Go back to power level threads on A. Someone post that picture of the power levels chart with Demon Bane at the top. Opinions on Fates. I have a video on Fate Zero. I haven't watched Unlimited Blade Works. Trevor, I don't think it would be impossible for you to join. It would take a minute to set up. I'm mostly worried that we wouldn't have good enough connection because it would probably be hard to stream and have Skype running at the same time. Who are you fucking texting?
I can't fucking think of texting.
Hope?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of this thing, man!
Look,
Well,
man,
it
no one
doesn't
cares
matter.
what I'm doing. No one's paying attention to this game. She's watching this. Well, listening to it.
Is Victor gonna do a video on Aquarian logos?
Maybe I will.
You have to wear the wig again.
We haven't been watching it. It's just too much. I couldn't keep watching.
Someone asked my favorite anime opening and ending theme. I asked about I already answered about opening, but my favorite ending are probably the K-On! Ones. Like, especially in terms of video, definitely the K-On! Ones. Particularly No Thank You and Listen. I have playlists for this. Go to my channel, go into my playlists, and you'll find my top 100 openings and my top 50 endings. A lot of them have been taken down because the videos were taken down, but they should be there. We're gonna try to get Trevor in here because he wants to come in. I think.
T-Dog.
Let's see if it works. If the stream crashes, blame Trevor. All right. I think I can do
What's
this.
the point of having a guest here to
Trevor,
talk when
can you
you're
hear
just
us?
doing Q&A? Why?
Yes.
You can hear us fine?
Can you hear me?
Hey, boy.
Yes, we can hear you.
Very clean.
I don't know if the chat can, so we'll have to
Very
check
clean.
them. Ask them, or like pay attention to what they say.
All right, I will do my best.
Because you might be louder than us or quieter. I'm not sure.
They have not said anything yet. They're talking about hope.
Why?
They said, "Are we allowed to ship Victor and Hope?"
No, you're not allowed to ship Victor
No.
and Hope. It pisses him off.
No.
Every single time someone comments about shipping Victor and Hope on Digi Bros, he's always like, why must they do this?
I just did a
People don't
speed
believe in
test.
platonic friendships, man.
I was trying to the fucking Twitch stream kept cutting out for me, but my download speed is 91 megabits per second right now. Somehow.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, that's really fast.
Well, good for you.
Whatever.
Yeah. I don't, dude. Ever since we switched to Powerline adapter, my connection's been way better. I'm scared to say that because I feel like it'll cut out on me.
Just,
But
yeah, fucking shits out right this second. Everyone's
Yeah.
saying hi. Hello.
yes, we have the Trevor. Hopefully there's no echo with you. Oh, it does say there's echo. Someone said there's very high echo.
Jesus, really?
Well, it's not your fault. It's because you're coming through my speakers for me and Victor, but you're coming through the computer for them. So, so I'm trying to find a volume where I can hear you, but you're not so loud that it's like a bad echo.
Let's see.
I'll just move the microphone a little further away and maybe move the speakers more over here or something. I don't know if that helps at all. All right, let's get back to answering questions. Oh yeah, IG buying FLCL. Thoughts? I mean, IG helped make FLCL, but yeah, I don't know what the hell to expect from that. Let's see. What is the one fandom you just can't stand? I don't want to put any fandom on blast in its entirety. I'm sure there's good people from every fandom. I really don't like Sonic as a franchise, and I feel like its fandom is probably pretty obnoxious. I don't have a lot of run-ins with them though, so it's not enough to bother me. I've always wanted to be into more music. Any tips to help indoctrinate me? Listen to everything and be really open-minded about it. And a good way to do it is oh shit, I keep burping. Trevor, you've got a bunch of click sound.
Really?
Yeah, whatever you're clicking on comes through
I
your
was
microphone.
laughing, but if I'm clicking,
Yeah, I just keep hearing clicks from there.
Your audio is not very clean.
well, yeah, I'm using my fucking cell phone headphones.
Um.
And turn down my gain.
Anyway, yeah, tips to get into music. Look into stuff that's related to stuff you already like, if you like anything.
Watch Anthony Fandingo.
Yeah, watch Anthony Fantano videos. He talks about every fucking new release, see if it sounds interesting, and then go listen to it. Go to my chart of my top 100 favorite albums on my Reddit and just listen to all of them. And then like all of them, because I told you to. Although, maybe don't start with my top 10, because some of those are pretty weird. I don't know, just listen to a lot of shit. I don't really think my, the way I got into music has a sort of, progression to it, where it was, I grew up with hard rock, and so, when I was a teenager, I listened to,
hard.
I got into, stuff that was kind of like rock music in terms of, energy and engagement, so I got into, progressive stuff like the Mars Volta and Tool and Coheed, where it's, little prog elements to, energetic rock music, and then from there, just kept expanding into like more proggy stuff, more like post rock and experimental stuff, and then eventually I was just into music in general enough to get into other genres that were not related to what I like. Oh, and yeah, go on Mew, but only after you're into music. Someone said don't go on Mew, and I'm like, yeah, don't go on there if you're trying to get into music for the first time.
Damn, this guy's tough.
What anime are you interested in hearing analysis of? I want someone to do a really in-depth look at why they like Ergo Proxy. Because I don't understand the show to begin with. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me at all. And there's a lot of people who really seem to like it, and I'm always wondering if they like it because they really enjoy the themes, or if they just like it because it's different and interesting, you know? Because it is interesting. I just don't get it. Would you go to do pony videos if you suddenly got back into it? Probably not, because I really said most of what there is to say about what makes the show good. That's why the S4 Diaries turned into what they were, because, like, the point I was trying to make with those was that, like, I already had analyzed enough good episodes and bad episodes of MLP that, like, I'd covered really what the show is like at its best and what it's like at its worst and what it's like in between. And so, like, talking about the quality of the episodes was no longer interesting. So I was just going to talk more about personal anecdotes and stuff to ride out Season 4. So I really think I've covered all of what I really have to say about the show in general, and can't really see getting back into it in a big way. Let's see. I don't know what TG is. What is this guy? Did you ever ban the blue hat guy?
Blue hat.
The guy who kept saying, "What would you sell your soul to the devil for?"
I told him to chill out. I didn't ban
shit.
him.
Because he eventually posted a whole paragraph of it, apparently.
Jesus. I might have been showering during that.
If I had to describe you to someone, I'd start by saying he's an internet friend of mine. On that Digibros video, though, you made this big distinction between a friend and whatever I am. Why I know be your friend? Does your definition require babbling about a bunch of shit all day? Was that just the way you were framing it in that one particular episode? Asked the Devu. Yeah, it's just more of a framing thing. I mean, I would describe... If I was describing someone, like, describing you, I'd either say my friend or my editor. Yeah, I don't know. You can go ahead and call me your friend. I don't mind. It was more of the framing of that conversation. Friend is a weird word because it can mean so many different things. Like, there's so many people who I say, like, are my online friend, and then I say
I feel like
kinda.
friend's a little overused. Because,
Yeah.
like, I feel like acquaintance should be a more, like...
Well, because acquaintance makes it sound like you're...
Yeah,
like you don't
I wish
them or something.
acquaintance didn't have that implication.
Or, like, acquaintance is someone who's, like, on their way to becoming your friend or something. Like,
because people will be very quick to make you a friend, you know, when they're
Right.
talking, referring to you, and then it's just like, well, we're not really friends. We don't hang out or anything. You know, I know we're cool with each other. You can say we're cool. We're not friends.
Yeah. Alright, skipping questions I've answered before. Do you like Sufjan Stevens' new album, Carrie and Lowell? What do you
So
think,
sad.
Trevor?
So sad.
It's too sad. I can't listen to it.
I like it. I bought it. But
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking sad.
It's like, I've listened to it like 2 or 3 times, and like, I was just like, man, this is fucking depressing. And then, like, I think a couple weeks ago I put it on, and I just, like, immediately had to turn it off. Because, like, I can't, I'm not in the mental state to fucking handle this music. Have you watched Shinsekai Yori? I couldn't make it through episode 4. That shit pissed me off so badly.
Oh.
I hate that show. People, that's one of the top 5 shows that people give me the most shit for dropping. But, like, no one's made a really solid case for me to pick it up again. It just seems like a show I won't like. So,
Damn, son.
yeah. Have Victor's hands gone numb yet?
No, my brain really hurts and I'm very nauseous. I need to go drink some water, but I don't want to stop playing.
I just got a text. There's a text from... I'm getting more texts. It's from Nate. Why do you suck so much dick? Also, give me that Duck Sakura Sailor Moon poster, you goddamn fat motherfucker. You don't deserve any of them. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay.
Was he in the chat or something?
I have no idea. I didn't see him in there. I also have a Snapchat from Trevor, but I'm not going to watch that right now.
That's been there for a long time.
Okay.
Just me sitting in my math class.
Digi, can I hear your thoughts on Golden Time and Lucky Star? Thanks for the Q&A, by the way. I'm a really big fan of Lucky Star. I haven't watched it in a few years, but I think it's one of the most rewatchable and fun to watch with other people shows, like other people who are into it. I'd love to rewatch it again one day. I've got a cool video about it. And Golden Time, I watched the first 3 episodes of, and I got the impression that it was pretty good, but I didn't feel like watching the rest. I might pick it up again when I'm working my way through 2013 shows to do my top 10 of 2013, if that's ever a thing I actually finish doing. But until then, no opinion. Eat the poo-poo?
What?
Someone asked eat the poo-poo.
Okay. That was very amusing to you, wasn't it?
I think it's not spelled the same way, but I interpreted it read that way because that was in Bloodborne. That's what they named their character in Game Grumps.
Oh.
Eat the poo poo. Eat the poo poo. What are your thoughts on the Metroid Prime series? I've never beaten the first one, and we were doing a Let's Play of it, me and Boyd. He told me he has to put it on indefinite hiatus because he's too busy. But there's like a few hours. There's close to 10 hours worth of video of us Let's Playing Metroid Prime very badly on my hard drive. That's not been released yet. Yeah, give me something too. Like, give me something. Actually, aren't there a bunch of snacks behind me? Hand me that banana.
This thing has got bananas.
Just the one.
And pajamas, dog.
That's
Bananas
true.
and pajamas.
You have bananas and pajamas.
I'll be back. Oh, my stomach. What? Oh, fuck, man. Worked out too hard.
Why did you take down your Molestia video? I didn't. Someone fucking filed a takedown on it, and that's why it's gone. You can see it if you go to my Patreon and give me $3, and it's in my my deleted videos archive. I'm gonna eat this banana, so I might slow down a little. But hopefully you can forgive me because I've been live streaming for 8 fucking hours. To the person saying you want to know what the No Game No Life shirt looks like, it's the I Love Humanity shirt that he wears in the show. They sell it like crazy at cons and everyone wears it. I've never considered talking about Negima because I haven't read it. Except the first volume, which I had when I was like 13 and I sold it. I don't know what UQ holder is. What anime world would I most want to live in?
Psychopaths?
No thanks. I think I'd probably be terminated. Lethal eliminated. Definitely not Technolize. That's the first. I look over and that's the first thing I see, and I'm like, nope. That's the last anime world I want to live in. I assume you guys figured this out already, but every time I look to the left, it's because I'm looking at my anime DVDs trying to find an answer.
Most anime worlds are pretty fucked up. I don't think I'd want to live in one.
Yeah, kind of the point is usually that, like, the world's falling apart. And that's why the main characters have to save it. And when I look to the right, I'm looking at my posters for answers.
I'm gonna say Azumanga Daioh.
Well, that's just in our world.
Yep.
uh, Has there ever been an anime where I was just like, man, I wish I lived in this setting? Like, there's a lot of settings that are cool, but I wouldn't want to live in them.
Right. Someone said Ghost in the Shell.
Actually, yeah, that's the answer. Ghost in the Shell.
You'll become a cyborg.
Whoever said that probably knew that's what I actually thought and was just like informing me of my own opinion, because that's definitely
the blue hat guy. It was that guy.
Who?
The blue hat guy, the guy you thought I banned.
Oh yeah. Okay. God, my fucking face. I'm gonna turn down the... You know what? Maybe I'll just, like, reduce... I don't really need to have the whole fucking chat window. I've had the stream playing in the background for me the whole time, just so I know if it goes down or anything, but, like, the amount of white on screen might be what's killing me.
There's, like, a mode to make it, like, dark, isn't there? Like, night mode?
Probably.
Dark mode.
The fucking brightness on my monitor is already fairly low, and if I turn it any lower, then I won't have good lighting on my face anymore.
Someone told you to download I think it's called Flex or something, or Flux. That's where it, like, changes, like, the kind of light your screen is. Like, it makes it yellow or something as, like, it gets later in the night. So it's easier on your eyes.
Well, like I said, the problem with that will be that the lighting will turn to shit, and I'll be too dark. I already answered some of these. The longest time you spent without sleep. I think I made it 48 hours once. I'm not good at staying up for like extremely long periods of time, which is why I keep saying that I don't know if this will actually last 24 hours, because 24 hours is asking for a bit from me. Will I do an in-depth thing about Boogie Pop? Oh my god, I forgot I was doing episode overviews on my site before. Maybe. I'd love to do a video about the first book, because that one's so important to me. The problem with trying to talk about Boogie Pop at length is that I feel like so much of the story is in the later books, like, that have never come out in the US and never really been translated, so... But I wouldn't mind covering the first book somehow. I don't know how I'd write about it. I'd have to rewrite it or reread it first to figure it out. Thoughts on Castle of Cagliostro? I watched it once. I thought it was okay. I didn't like the last act because it kind of got really slow and like too actiony and stuff. That wasn't really the appeal of the movie. Why does SAO make Kirito's dual-wield ability look overpowered when dual-wielding longswords is historically impractical? Probably because it's a cartoon. Okay, now we're at the part where Trevor came in. So this isn't too long ago. You've been in for 18 minutes, so the chat... I'm currently 18 minutes behind in the chat.
Yeah, it was a bit worse earlier, but after we, like... cleared the chat or whatever, it improves. But then, of course, everyone like floods the chat again immediately after we clear it.
Well, because they recopy and paste their questions.
Yeah, people seem to be doing pretty good with not spamming though.
Yeah, thoughts on the Mountain Goats? I've never listened to like a whole album of them.
I think Tolentino likes them.
Probably, they're pretty popular on Mew. Okay, that blue guy kept asking this question. Do you agree with us transhumanism who believe that getting older is bullshit, so is the idea that we must die?
Jesus.
Which is just not phrased in a way that makes any sense. So I don't know why he asked it like 20 times. But, I guess.
Where'd all the stuff go?
Have you heard of the... I just minimized it because it was hurting my eyes.
Oh.
Have you heard of the best Sonic game in years? Arcade kids dug up previously unreleased Sonic games from the late 90s and early 2000s. They're hilarious. Yeah, we did a Sonic Dreams collection video, and I threw it away. Did you even remember that we did that?
Wait, you threw it away?
Yeah, I thought it was fucking bullshit, and so I threw it away.
No!
We weren't very funny.
Aw.
Too many other people have done it. We just kind of let it drag, and it got boring. Like, at first, Victor was really hype about it, but then when we were playing through, he kept trying to do all the secret stuff, and it just kind of, like, your walking speed's really low, and we kind of, like, lost all the enthusiasm as we went, and
Yeah.
it stopped being funny.
Man.
Yeah, so I threw it away. Just go watch Game
I was
Grumps.
looking
One.
forward
I
to
also,
releasing that.
well, that's the thing. Like, you were all like, "Oh, see, ours is different because we found the secret stuff, but we didn't find nearly half of it."
Oh, of
First of
course.
all, you can get that Sega ID thing.
Mhm.
Like, you have to like reinstall something on your computer or something, and it
I
makes it so
see.
you have Sega ID and you can play the Eggman game.
Oh, shit.
Which apparently is like, I don't remember how they described it. It's really, they said it's like the beginning part of Spore.
Uh-huh.
But you're an egg.
That's
Like,
amazing.
man. So, yeah.
Oh, I just Run the Jewels and TV on the Radio are going to do a collaborative performance
What? That sounds pretty fucking rad.
Run the TV on
on,
the
on
jewels.
Stephen Colbert's Late Show.
I don't know how that would, like, I don't know what they mean by collaborative performance, but that sounds pretty fucking cool.
They're both just gonna perform at the same time, but performing their own music.
Like different songs.
I can see them doing that.
I watched that your episode of Digibuzz was really inspired by the bit where you were talking about cynical characters. I've been further thinking on specific character interactions within a story I've been working on. All I really want to say is thank you for giving me ways to think on this stuff. You're welcome.
Go
Thoughts on the Saw franchise? Do you like torture porn?
No.
No. Don't like Saw. Don't like torture porn. Not into horror movies. So yeah. Did you ever end up seeing Inside Out like you mentioned on Digi and Friends? Nope, not yet. I have not been to the movies since Mad Max, I think. So yeah. Apparently, Brandon went home and started watching Suspiria, which I believe is a 1980s horror film by Dario Argento or something. There's a video by it's the Cinemasochist about Suspiria, I think. Go check out the Cinemasochist. Very underrated YouTuber.
Boom.
Who are your top favorite Japanese voice actors? Maybe list up to 3 each. I don't know if they mean each of us list 3 or 3 guys and 3 girls. My number 1 favorite is probably Kana Hanazawa, which the funny thing is Kana Hanazawa and Miyuki Sawashiro were my favorites for a long time, but both of them got really popular and are just in fucking everything to the point that I got sick of hearing them. Especially Miyuki Sawashiro, because her voice always sounds the same. But besides them being oversaturated, I'm a big fan of both of them. I love Aoi Yuki. Who would be another one? Toyo Sakiaki.
Sakiaki. Sakiaki Western Django.
Those are definitely some of my like top
Unchained.
favorites. As for guys, I'm a huge fan of what's his name? Nobuyuki Hiyama. Very big fan of him. The guy who voices Guy from Gao Gaigar, as you
Oh,
know
fuck
him
yeah.
best. And
screaming
and of
guy.
course Tomokazu Seki, the other screaming guy who's Domon Kashu. And Kazuya Nakai. We'll go with that for my 3 favorite guy voice actors. Do you know any voice actors? No?
What about, what's his name? The old dude you like.
Norio Wakamoto.
Norio Wakamoto.
Yeah, he hasn't been around in anything much. I think he's probably retired
Yeah.
because he is old as fuck.
Wakamoto.
Apart from English, do you speak any other languages? Nope, because I am too dumb to learn them.
True.
I want to learn Japanese badly. I have decent Japanese comprehension in terms of watching anime. but not good enough to watch.
Boku wa
stuff.
fuckboy
I
son.
have enough Japanese comprehension that I can watch a kids show without subtitles and basically get what's going on. Which I've done before. So Trevor said he knows how to speak gent.
So gent.
Victor, speak gent for us. Degent, degent, degent. Degent, 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 degent.
I walked away to get water. And I come
You said we could speak gent, so that's what we're speaking. Oh god, now I'm trapped in your whole fucking conversation with other people in the chat.
I'm sorry.
Any recommendations on depressing music other than Carrie and Lowell? Listen to We Cool, Knife Man, and Pinkerton, and I'm looking for more.
Listen to the Delgados hate.
The what?
Delgados.
Oh, the Delgados. Yeah, Hate by the Delgados is pretty fucking sad. I would say if you want to have like...
You want to get so depressed?
If you want like moody misery, fucking Jordan Mason and the Horse Museum, their album, Divorce Lawyers, I Shaved My Head. That album's fucking miserable. Obviously, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea is fucking miserable. I'm a big fan of the Telephone Projects. Their stuff's pretty sad, but it's also very numbing. Like, I would consider it more like if you wanted to rid yourself of emotional feeling. Similarly, fucking Have a Nice Life. Their albums are pretty fucking like, I wish to be empty of feeling. Like, that's what you listen to. A lot of people consider their first album to be like the ultimate suicide album. I can't remember what it's called at the moment.
Death Consciousness?
Yeah, Death Consciousness. Great album.
Very long.
Very long, yes. Alright. Would you guys ever play any other classic 8-bit or 16-bit games?
Whoa.
I would. Victor's not into pre-3D games, basically. Or I should say, like, you're just not into classic games. You've never really played Super Nintendo or Nintendo games, or like old Genesis or anything.
Play King of Dragons.
Yeah, maybe we'll play King of Dragons on the show. I can't really see that happening. Maybe for a Digi and Friends with you and somebody else.
Fucking ass. All the way over here.
I'd love to get. I like the older Zelda games, but Victor hasn't played any of them. And I feel like he'd get frustrated in Zelda 1.
Let's just do A Link to the Past.
Yeah, we should do A Link to the Past. I've been trying to get Victor to play A Link to the Past for a while because, I mean, it's great. You've played through the Minish Cap, which is pretty similar.
Not the whole thing.
No, you never played the whole thing?
Never beat
it's only
it,
like, you could beat it in like no time at all.
Played since I was like little.
So yeah, maybe.
There's that guy.
Is this memes? Is this memes? Who are your favorite YouTube Let's Players? Game Grumps and Yahtzee Croshaw are the only ones I follow. I watch every fucking Game Grumps episode because I have no life. And Yahtzee's Let's Drown Out series is a great thing to go to bed to. I actually rewatch a lot of those because they're just such good, like, bedtime story fodder.
Just like Super Size Me.
Yes, just like Trevor
Just
with
like
Super Size Me. For some reason, Trevor always goes to bed to Super Size Me.
Trevor is obsessed with Super Size Me.
It's not even good. It's just comforting.
Comforting.
I don't know how it's comforting. How are you holding up, Digi? Do you think you'll make it to 24 hours? I think I can. I think at some point I want to get up and walk around like as soon as possible because my fucking face
probably
hurts.
Have to take a break.
And I wouldn't mind going to get some food or something. So I don't want to like end the video for like more than a little while and like make people think we stopped though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason we can't just leave it running. We've done that before.
Just put a note.
When we were live streaming like almost 3 years ago, we did a live stream of Ocarina of Time, and I was playing it. And we had to go pick up my mom from a bar somewhere.
That's the worst.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we just left the stream going. And what we did was we were playing. We put on GameCube chats, and we just had GameCube chats playing in the stream while we were gone, like for like an hour. And then we came back, and I just like kept playing by myself for like 3 hours in the water temple while like passing out. So yeah, we might get up in a bit, and maybe I'll just put on a video or something. Brandon said, "Donate patron tequila to his Patreon." Thoughts on early Shaft shows? I love them. I was really into Shaft in the early days. Penny Pony Dash is fantastic. I never made it through all of Tsukuyomi Moon Phase. I kind of want to give it another try. I don't think I'll finish it, but I'd like to at least try it again. Really love Penny Pony Dash. Love Hidamari Sketch. Love Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei.
No. Oh, I'm alive. No. No.
I mean, that was the period of time when Shaft was my favorite studio and Akiyuki Shinbo was my favorite director. So
Oh my god.
early Shaft shows are definitely my speed. Not including the joints they did with Gainax. Those were awful.
A Kynax joint.
Yeah, because I think they did This Ugly Yet Beautiful World with Gainax, and that was fucking terrible. They might have done another one. But, yeah. What do you think of The Simpsons, South Park, and Family Guy? I never really got into The Simpsons because it was kind of before my time. Like, by the time I was, like, aware of it, it was already at the point where people were saying it had turned to shit. South Park, I've always more or less enjoyed. Victor's a big South Park fan.
Yeah.
And Family Guy, I am indifferent towards. Like, I find
It's
it
really
funny
become
sometimes.
fucking annoying these days.
But, yeah, it's a real mixed bag. There's plenty of episodes of Family Guy that I've seen, like, upwards of 20 times because it was always on Adult Swim, and I've always watched Adult Swim. So, like, I have a lot of nostalgia for a lot
American
of it.
Dad's the best though.
Yeah, I do love American Dad.
Still going strong.
I
Somehow that
fucking
show
love that
only
show.
like gets better.
Yeah.
Whereas Family Guy just gets more like
And you were a big fan of the
Uncomfortable.
Cleveland show, too.
yeah. I mean the Cleveland show's more like stupid, goofy enjoyment, but I thought it was fun.
American Dad's great, though. I will always watch that if
I
it's
felt like
on.
the Cleveland show was Family Guy with more likable characters.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on its face, and it's shining a salute to the American race. If I met Shiroe in real life, what would I talk to him about?
Tactics.
Yeah, I guess tactics. I'd get him to explain MMOs to me. And
I'd
like,
watch him play Fire Emblem on the highest difficulty.
I would play. If I met Shiroe, I would get into a game with him and have him get me into an MMO like for real. Like have him teach me how to really enjoy.
Guide
one.
me.
Because I've always wanted to get into an MMO.
you could
for
guild
real,
with
but,
him,
like,
and
yeah, I would definitely guild with Shiroe.
you just get annoyed by how slow you are.
Dude, he fucking trains children.
That's true.
He does not get annoyed.
Yeah, but those children
He's very
are-
patient.
Are just badasses.
Close up of your shelf. I might do another Digi's Crib series in the future if I can convince Victor to do it with me.
No,
I've probably
don't make me
used
do
all
it,
his
people.
goodwill up already. You guys really should have done this on a Saturday or Sunday so I could stay the whole time. Well,
Yeah.
it would be inconvenient.
Well, he didn't get 100,000 subs on a Saturday, okay?
Right.
He got it on a fucking Monday.
I really had nothing better to do in general.
Yeah.
Like I was
That's
doing
the only reason I'm here. I have nothing to do.
I was doing literally nothing yesterday, and then I got 100,000 subscribers, and I was like, all right, we're doing this. So that's sort of why we're doing it now.
Let's do it.
So yeah. And I mean, the reason it's 24 hours is because that way it hits every time zone, and everybody has a chance to be here for a little while, you know? Someone said they looked up their chart of my favorite albums. They were wondering what I thought of Tyler, the Creator, and Odd Future. I like a bunch of Tyler's songs on Wolf and Bastard. I don't really like the whole album for either of those. I think I like him as like a personality. I think he's pretty cool. I've seen interviews with him and stuff, and I think he's a pretty cool guy. I'm really upset that he's been banned from Australia and the UK for no fucking reason. It's pretty fucking bullshit. I never got into like most of Odd Future except for Earl Sweatshirt, who I really like Doris, and I'm starting to get into I don't like shit, I don't go outside, but he doesn't consider himself a member of Odd Future anymore, so.
Well, they said Odd Future broke up.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much dead. I think it's probably dead because he didn't want to do it anymore. Like, you know, something must have soured the group, and they just were like, let's just move on. Do our own
I feel like
shit.
there's lyrics, and I don't like shit, I don't go outside that kind of hint towards that.
You think?
Yes, because he talks about like just like his friends wanting to do the same old shit and like no one's growing up kind of thing.
Right, yeah. I mean, he said that about Odd Future on Twitter. He also said, like, he said to all the Odd Future runoff, quit dressing like a fruit basket and go talk to some girls.
Jesus.
Yeah. Alright. Let's like get up.
Hold on, I'm
and,
on a boss. So
Like let's
try
go
to
get
fight
some
this boss
food or
first.
something.
Let's fight the boss first.
Well, I gotta pee real
Took
bad.
me
so I'm
forever
gonna
to get
take a
here.
pee.
I'm gonna try to fight the fucking boss.
Do a running commentary on the boss
Oh,
while
God.
I take a pee.
You guys can just watch me play like a normal fucking Let's Play.
Or stream, you mean?
Yeah.
Victor's like jonesing for this boss, like a crackhead.
Because took me a long time to get this level. I only have 3 healing items. Shit's going down.
Good luck. Get that,
If I can get down to him, it's like it's either a really easy boss or a really hard boss, like depending on how you do it. He's got to like get in the right spot where he can't hit you and wail out his weak spot.
You modeled this character after the guy from your.
This is one of the weirdest designs in any of these games. Probably one of the ugliest bosses, but it's very unique looking. You have to hit this weak spot on his stomach. Fuck.
Fuck me. Oh, shit. Ah, fuck. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck.
Can you see how this guy has impaled himself somehow
Whoa.
and broken his sword off in his
Interesting
stomach?
question. Victor, I know you can answer this. Have you ever played El Shaddai?
Oh man, El Shaddai. Not a good game, I would say, but well, I guess
It's like
it's
interesting
good.
because
Yes,
it's
very
so fucking
interesting,
weird.
but it's extremely weird.
Like maybe not a well-made game.
Yes, but it's very short, and it's like the mechanics are great, and like you love it for the mechanics, but it only goes so far, and it was just like a great idea that is not a whole lot of game,
yeah.
and the story is just trippy and fucking nonsense. It has these weird like 2.5D parts. It's very weird side-scrolling, I should say. It's an interesting game. You can beat it in one sitting, you know. It's an interesting art design. Very minimalist.
Whoa. I don't know how I lost my place so severely. Okay. This is where we were before. I think I skipped ahead with that last question. The Vu said, how did your distinction between review and analysis come about? It was pretty much back in the anime blogging sphere, Ghost Lightning had specified that he doesn't consider anything he writes a review because he wasn't really trying to like make a statement about quality of shows, which is what he saw a review as. And his, like, even more so than mine, he really never talked much about like whether a show was good or not. It was more about an idea he had of the show. And I proposed to him, well, you're basically writing analysis, so why not just consider it like an analytical post, you know? And so he was like, okay, that works for me. Like, I agree with that. And so I sort of considered us to be like the analytical bloggers, like as opposed to review bloggers, we were analysis bloggers. So that's sort of where that came from. Do you like The Walking Dead? No. No. Since you've met Dodger, what's your opinion of her? I've
didn't.
literally only talked to her for the span of that podcast. like, you know, we only had like a few minutes beforehand and a few minutes after, so I don't really have much of an impression of her, especially because I haven't really seen much of her content. So I don't know. Erin seemed really cool and nice and friendly, and I'd like to be friends with her. But yeah, didn't have much time with Dodger.
I'm making it through this game, guys.
Did
Making
you
my
beat
way
him?
downtown.
Did you do it?
I beat the boss. Let me go level up.
All right, we're gonna get up for a minute.
After I level up.
Should I put on
This
like,
is
a video?
once you get your foot in the door of this game, this is where it really starts getting fun. Like once you're not just fucking dying constantly.
I'm gonna stop the recording and hopefully this doesn't crash everything. But